Welcome to Mountain West Football on Stadium. Today's game is brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the NCAA. Our matchup at Dreamstyle Stadium in Albuquerque, the Utah State Aggies at 6-5, taking on the New Mexico Lobos, who are 2-9. Let's take a look at standings in the Mountain Division. Utah State with a win could finish 6-2. That is a really good conference record. And you see New Mexico has been a struggle, going 0-7 in conference play. Hello, everyone. I'm Ari Wolf. He's Eddie Royal. We're so glad you're with us. And can you try to keep us warm from wherever you're watching this game? Because it's 32 degrees. The wind chill makes it feel like it's in the low 20s. But we're going to do our best to stay warm. Hopefully it'll be a great game. Now, looking at this game, Utah State came into this year with really high expectations. They had a Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback in Jordan Love. They're coming off one of the best years in program history, winning 11 games. Now they're 6-5, brand new offensive line and a new coaching staff with Gary Anderson. Hasn't gone exactly by design, but Jordan Love is still a guy who may be playing on Sundays next year.
Yeah, Jordan Love, he's a great quarterback. You watch him on tape, and he just makes a few too many mistakes. You know, you want him to be able to take care of the ball a little bit better. You see the 15 interceptions. That's definitely up from last year. And it's a new team. He's got new targets that he's throwing to. But today, he's got to take care of the ball for them to win the game.
And he can do it all. He's got the arm strength, he's got the mobility, he's got the vision, and he has the leadership skills. He's a complete package. Now, he's a junior, so he'll have a big decision to make in the coming weeks, whether he comes back to play for the Aggies or declares himself for the NFL draft. Now let's turn our attention to New Mexico, and this is going to be an emotional final game. It was announced on Monday that Bob Davie will not return as head coach. So his 8-year run at New Mexico ends today, and he's a guy, Eddie, I remember when they signed him as head coach, I thought, what an incredible get it was for him. And boy, it's been tough for him this year. We take a look at the injuries. The injuries have been the story. They've had to go deep into the roster. 41 different players who started. You see how many scholarship players are gone. They're down to their fourth quarterback, fifth and sixth running back. Sometimes years just don't go your way.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because he's done a great job here. He's come here and tried to turn the program around. He's fought hard for these players. You just get hit with the injury bug, and it's a tough thing to do. And he's a great coach, and I'd love to see him send them out the right way today.
Well, his legacy here will certainly, the main part will be after the 2015 and 2016 seasons. They go to back-to-back bowl games. 2015, they win 7 games. 2016, they win 9 games and a bowl game right here at this stadium. And Bob Davie has done a lot more for this team than help them win games, as he has been a real leader, and he's grown up a lot of kids who've arrived on campus and turned them into young men.
Yeah, as far as the academics, I mean, the numbers are off the charts, as you can see right there. He's got this team doing the right thing, and he's not only shaping them as good football players, but he's turning them into great men. And that's something that you look for from a head coach, and he's definitely been that for this program.
And just to really highlight that second row right there, New Mexico was 3-37 in the 40 games prior to his arrival, and in 2015 and 16 they go to bowl games. So an incredible run for Bob Davie, and I'm sure his players want to send him out on a winning note today. For more on Bob Davie, let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team, who we hope is staying warm, Danny Klumpinger.
Trying to stay warm out here, Ari and Eddie, but you were just talking about Bob Davie, and despite that success that he found midway through his tenure, it just wasn't being able to be sustained all the way through. The players found out the news Monday afternoon via email from Davie himself, but he said despite this year and all the challenges that this team has gone through, which we will hit on a little bit later on in this broadcast, he's seen his players bounce back, and that's exactly what he expects to see them do here today after the news that they got earlier this week. He expects them to bounce right back, unite as a brotherhood, and fight to try to win this game.
All right, good stuff, Danny. We'll have lots more on Coach Davie. He's just such a class act. Really enjoyed getting to know him over the last 8 years. And don't be fooled by that record. He came into a situation that was one of the worst in all of Division I college football at the FBS level, and he managed to turn the program around. He's got a lot to be proud of. And for the Aggies, in his first year back in his second tour of duty, is Gary Anderson. Gary Anderson overall there is 33-29. And he's no stranger to success, as he's brought this team to several bowl games. All right, we're gonna tell everybody how this works on Facebook, and there's nobody better to explain it than Danny.
Oh, yeah, I got to tell you exactly how this works on Facebook, right? Because if you haven't seen one of our Facebook broadcasts before, it's a real treat because you're just as much of the part of the broadcast as we are. Comment all game long. Also, post photos to Instagram using the hashtag USU versus UNM, and we'll pull those photos and show them right here on the broadcast. We're also going to have polls for you to participate in, and I'm going to kick things off right now with our first poll. Who's going to win this game today? Is it going to be Utah State or New Mexico? Let me know in the comments.
All right, thanks, Danny. So far, it's overwhelmingly Utah State. Utah State will start out with the football as New Mexico will kick this game off. Donovan Murphy will kick things off. Jordan Nathan perhaps will have a chance at a return. And again, it is chilly. We saw in the warm-ups a 35-year-old field goal and the ball about 5 feet before the goalpost made a hard turn to the right. So wind will be a factor. The passing game could be very challenging today. Fortunately for New Mexico, what they do best is run the football. They run it for almost 200 yards per game.
Donovan Murphy's going to kick off. Jordan
Nathan hoping for a chance at a return. The wind is behind New Mexico at the moment, so I'm actually expecting a touchback here. All right, they're going to have to actually have one of the other players on special teams hold the football because of the wind. And here we go, underway from Albuquerque. And it's a deep, strong boot, no chance at a return. So we get our first look at Jordan Love. Love's a good-sized quarterback. It's 6'4", 225 pounds, a junior from Bakersfield. 20-10 as a starter, that's second best in the history of the program. He was the preseason Mountain West Player of the Year, coming off an incredible 2018 season. And he's had to deal with the new offensive line. Now, they go quick, so you can't turn your head away from the screen much. They never huddle, and they could score really quickly. Joe Bright is the tailback. He needs 62 yards today for 2,000 in his career. And Love wants to throw, and that's broken up. Caleb Rep, the tight end, was the intended target, and that was knocked away by Dante Martin. And as you see, they're right back up on the ball. 2nd and 10. Love looks to set up the screen, and that's almost picked off.
This is a really good showing for New Mexico, coming out showing Utah State, hey, we're here to play. Ignore our record, but we're out here ready to compete.
And Aaron Austin, big old number 90, I think he's who got his hands on it. Yep. Almost tried to tip it to himself. Nice play there for the senior. So 3rd and 10. Funny enough, I had their game last year up at Utah State. Utah State went 3 and out on their opening drive and then scored 49 straight points. So well, let's not read too much into this. Love on 3rd and 10. And that's incomplete. Great job by the New Mexico defense. Perfect start. Heck, only 13 seconds have come off the clock.
Yeah, but this is exactly the way that Utah State said that they didn't want to start out the game, get in 3rd and long situations, because New Mexico is amazing at bringing pressure on 3rd down. As you can see, they were able to get to Jordan Love and create the completion, and now they got to punt the ball.
Rogers is back deep to receive. Bartolek, the punter. Rugby-style kick. It's a good one for Utah State. It's going to go out of bounds just inside the 30. We'll keep things right here. So for New Mexico, they're down to their 4th quarterback, Trey Hall. He's a redshirt freshman from Henderson, Texas. Played against Air Force last week. Through the air, went 5 of 7, 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. There he is, 6'2", 195 pounds. And he likes to throw the ball down the field. Jordan Kress is the big target. So Lobos 1st and 10 from their own 30. And their goal is going to be to keep the ball away from Utah State. Expect a steady diet of running plays. As this one picks up about 4 yards. Bobby Cole, the ball carrier, and he's running back number 6 on the depth chart. Former walk-on, got his scholarship last June.
Illegal shift, 2 men in motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
See, and these are the little penalties that New Mexico needs to avoid. They have a new starting quarterback, and you can't have self-inflicted mistakes, and they're starting off the drive with that. And we know that they want to run the ball, so they can't get in these long situations.
First and 15, they want to throw it. Hall completes the short pass. They'll almost get back to the original line of scrimmage. Now, this is a New Mexico team, Eddie, that's thrown the ball a lot more this year. They used to be just the option, but now they've incorporated a lot more of the passing game.
Yeah, but the issue's been that they've had so many different quarterbacks, so it's been hard to get into a rhythm. Offensive coordinator Joe Daly did say that he wanted to get the ball out of their hand quickly to avoid the pressure that Utah State's going to bring.
Utah State's got Tipa Nalai, number 10, one of the best pass rushers. He's on the bottom of your screen rushing the quarterback. And they're going to keep it on the ground and maybe just in front of the original line of scrimmage, going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, both teams are gotten into situations on 3rd down, 3rd and long that they didn't want to be in. And so now you got an inexperienced quarterback forced to make a throw down the field. If I'm offense coordinator Joe Daly, I wouldn't even take a chance. I'd call maybe a quarterback draw or maybe another run. They have one of the best punters in the game. Let him have a chance to pin Utah State deep.
And the punter is a real weapon for them. Hall wants to throw, gets hit, and goes down and sacked. Nalei, no surprise, his 4th sack of the season, which leads the Aggies. So good job by both defenses in the early going. And now we're going to see Tyson Dwyer, one of the best punters in America, averaging over 46 yards per punt. He's a semifinalist for the Ray Guy Award. There he is. Dyer's punt with the wind is a pretty good one. And it's going to turn to the right and go out of bounds, so no chance at a return. So both offenses unable to pick up a 1st down in their opening series. All right, for more on Jordan Love, we're going to go to Danny.
Yeah, well, all right, he has has nearly 8,500 total yards of offense. He just needs 87 yards to have back-to-back 3,000-yard passing seasons. And might I remind you that he's just a redshirt junior, right? So you talked about this in the open, and I do want to bring it up again. It is becoming decision time for Jordan Love. Does he stay at Utah State for another year, or does he go on to the NFL? That is really the question here. I've seen him ranked as high as the 6th ranked quarterback prospect should he decide to go into the draft this season. I mean, let's talk about what scouts can see out of him. It's his arm talent, his athleticism, his leadership, his character, his football IQ. That checks a lot of boxes there for an NFL evaluator, but his decision-making is a bit head-scratching at times. His offensive coordinator said it's something that the two of them talk about, and they've been talking about it for a while now, but if you're going to knock Love for anything, it would be taking care of the football. But Coach Sanford also says that he's got no doubt Love will be an NFL player when he does decide to go. But he hasn't had a rushing touchdown yet this year. He had 7 last year. His numbers are definitely down from a year ago, but he's definitely got a bright future. And Eddie, I'm curious, since you played in the NFL, if you see him as this, do you think that this decision will be easy for him at the end of the year? Do you think it's for sure he's going to head to the NFL after this season?
Yeah, I mean, if it was me, it would be an easy decision for me. I think I'm leaving. You know, you look at college football and you see guys taking a lot of hits these days, and maybe even some injuries that do affect draft stock. So being at a quarterback and being as good as he is, even though he's had a down year, I think he's still going to go in the 1st round. He's got too many of the physical tools that NFL teams are looking for to pass on this guy. So maybe even a team like New England, I thought maybe New England could grab him, the Los Angeles Chargers. There's a number of teams out there with a veteran quarterback who he could come in and learn a few things from before he was called to step out on the field.
And Danny, real quick, do you have the results of that poll question?
I do. The poll that's presented by Wendy's, it has been a landslide here for Utah State. 87% of you think that the Aggies are going to walk away with a win here at New Mexico.
All right, thank you, Danny. Stay warm, stay warm. All right, second drive here for Utah State. They went 3 and out. Didn't really take any time off the clock. They had 3 straight incomplete passes. So no yards from scrimmage so far for the Aggies. Jalen Warren is in the backfield to start this series. They do a running back by committee at Utah State. And it's Warren with it, and he'll be stood up at the 30-yard line where he's gang tackled by a group of Lobos.
I love the play call. I think Utah State's got to get back to running the ball. They run the ball well, and whenever they run for 100 yards, they normally win the game. So I think they need to stick to the running game.
Jordan Love dumps it down. And the catch made by Warren, not a big pickup there as Martin forced him out of bounds. And Martin a little bit slow to get up. And Martin's going to check out of the game. So third down. Love the throw, and almost picked off. The throw was late, and that could have been a pick 6 for Dijon Rogers.
I tell you what, these throws, I've seen Jordan Love make a ton of them from the far hash. He's throwing an out-breaking route, and we saw that against Boise State last week. It was a pick 6. He tried to make a long throw to the field, and it didn't get there in time. So that's something that maybe Jordan Love needs to take a look at and stop doing. I think if he can stop making those long throws, then he'll have a lot more success.
Bartolek, the punt, the rugby style. And he keeps bounding and then picked up by New Mexico. I believe that was Dijon Rogers on the... Today's game is brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the NCAA. All right, so second drive here for Trey Hall. The Lobos, neither team's been able to come up with a first down in these frosty conditions. First and 10 from just outside the 22-yard line. Lots of motion. Pretty good carry on first down there. I believe that's Bryson Carroll. It's good news that he can play. That gives them 3 healthy running backs.
Yeah, that's really good news. They came into the game with only 2 healthy running backs, we thought, and Bryson Carroll's a late addition to the game, and he's a guy that can make some plays for them, a home run threat, so he's going to be needed, and he's going to have a big day if they expect to win this one.
Yeah, Carroll averages over 5 yards per carry. And what they did against Air Force, even though they lost the game, they won the time of possession. What they want to do is just keep the dangerous offense of Utah State off the field. And Hall's going to keep it himself this time, and Hall appears to have a first down, and he does. So our first down of the game.
And that's something that Trey Hall can do. He can make plays with his feet. If the throw isn't there, he can be able to make something happen. He took a quick look down the field, and he had some pressure, and he was able to get up the field and get a first down.
I've talked about he's got great athletic skills. He's a Texas kid, been around football his whole life. He's not going to be overwhelmed by this. And Hall making people miss and then stopped. I'll probably be ruled a sack as he lost a yard on the play. Kevin Metzenheimer makes the play. Now he's in there because David Woodward got hurt in his 7th game of the year, and Woodward had a chance to be an All-American. He still is number 1 on the team in tackles, David Woodward, even though he hasn't played a month with 93 tackles. But Metzenheimer doing his best to step up. I really feel like his game's coming on. And Carroll So far, it appears, Eddie, that the offensive line is doing a pretty good job of creating a little bit of space between the tackles.
Yeah, all right, that's a focal point of their team. They like to ground and pound, and they got a big offensive line, and Utah State has had trouble stopping the run going against these physical teams. So New Mexico knows that, and they're taking advantage of it right now. I'm seeing man-to-man coverage. Maybe they're checking to maybe a shot play here.
3rd and 6. Hall, the throw up the sideline, and too much on the throw. The receiver had a step. They had a chance for a big play there to Cedric Patterson, who is their deep threat. But instead, they're going to be forced to punt. Tyson Dyer will come on to punt.
In those situations, they're going to have to hit a couple of those to get some big plays, to be able to get some chunk plays to get down the field on this Utah State defense. They're tough to get big yardage against, but you got to hit a couple of those deep throws.
Dyer will be punting. Jordan Nathan all the way back at his own 15-yard line. That shows the respect they have for Dyer and knowing Dyer's punting with a very strong wind behind him. And look at this boot. He crushes this thing. Nathan all the way back at his own 10. And great special teams coverage by the Lobos. That's talking about flipping the field with a great punter. And you asked about that on the call with Coach Davey. Do you sometimes that affect your play call on 3rd and long, knowing you got a great punter?
Yeah, he's not afraid to punt the ball, and be smart with this new quarterback. It's his first start of the year. You don't want to put him in too many tough situations. Just punt the ball and play great defense.
For more on Bob Davey, let's go to Danny.
Well, you guys touched a lot about his legacy that he's leaving here at New Mexico in the Open, but I do want to reiterate some of the stuff that you guys were talking about. He's been here for 8 seasons. He inherited a team that went 3-37 in its previous 40 games. He took them to a bowl game just a few years later. Actually, it was 2 bowl games and earned New Mexico's first bowl victory in 10 years. They won 16 games between 2015 and 16. They shared that division title in the Mountain West Conference behind that triple option offense that was among the nation's best in rushing and explosive plays. But they've lost 8 games in a row this season. Davey did say that he saw signs that this could possibly be his fate. It wasn't totally a surprise to him. But guys, he's been in college football as either a coach or a broadcaster for 43 years. And even he will tell you, in all of those years, he hasn't faced a season quite like this one in terms of adversity and issues. And I'll get more into that in a little bit. But whoever the next coach turns out to be, Davey did say he's more than willing to give the successor a tutorial on how things work around here, what works for him or not. But what is next for Davey? He did tell us that he talked to Urban Meyer on Wednesday morning, kind of talking about broadcasting versus coaching, and will they ever really let go of the coaching bug? Ari, Eddie, I'm curious, you were on that same call with me. Could you tell which way he was leaning towards?
All right, I'm going to get to that in a moment. We got to pay some bills here real quick. Stadium is the only 24/7 network on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Catch live and on-demand games, extensive highlights, classic games, and original programming. Check your local TV listings or go to watchstadium.com. Stadium, welcome to the game. And look, selfishly, I want him to go back into TV. I thought he was one of the best analysts in college football. On Saturday nights, him and Mark Jones would have one of the premier games, and I feel like he's a great communicator, and he's really good at teaching the game of football. If he wants to coach, I'm rooting for him too. He's one of those guys who's very easy to root for because he treats everybody like a professional.
Yeah, I think I'd love to see him continue coaching. I just know the amount of young men that he's helping out there, being able to be a coach, and he's able to touch so many guys and change their lives. So I'd love to see him give it another chance coaching.
He's 65 years old. He's like, I'm going to do something. He's like, I'm not going to retire and play golf every day. He's like, I need to do something. Now, Eddie and I want to retire and go play golf someplace.
Tell me about it.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Aggies. It's been a slow start for them offensively. And a good run there, close to a first down. It's a gain of 9, and that's Gerald Bright. Now, he's really been a leader for this team from day one, especially knowing they had a new offensive line. They needed someone to give that leadership, and they've leaned heavily on Gerald Bright. Now, the quarterback keeper, Jordan Love, gets the first down. Curious if now they'll start to get into a rhythm, because once they start going, you have no chance to get any subs on the field. You have to play at their pace. Jordan Love, the throw. And I don't know, he's throwing into the wind. Do you think that that's having an impact?
It's definitely having an impact. Whenever the ball's in the air for longer, the wind's going to affect it. And I think they got to look to maybe get Caleb Reppin involved in a game with some short, quick hitters to get the ball out of Jordan Love's hand, and it's not in the air too long.
2nd and 10 for the Aggies. Still no score. So glad you're with us on Stadium. Ari Wolf, Eddie Royal, Danny Kleppinger, and our entire Stadium crew trying to stay warm on a frosty late fall afternoon in Albuquerque. Love's going to step up into double coverage, and that's incomplete. Looking for Jordan Nathan.
I'll tell you what, New Mexico's doing a great job against the pass. They came in ranked towards the bottom in college football against the pass, and they're showing us something here.
It's been a tough year defending the pass. They've given up 3,685 passing yards, the most in school history. So they're doing a real good job so far. Yeah, I think anytime your coach is playing in his last game, you may get the best out of New Mexico because they want to send their coach out with a win.
Exactly.
Love wants to set up the screen. And that's well defended by the Lowboys. Boy, the red jerseys everywhere right now. No chance for Gerald Bright. And the Aggies are going to have to punt it away. Now, do you think there's any hangover from the Aggies after losing at home 56-21 to Boise?
Definitely. It was a devastating loss. You know, they wanted to try to get to the conference championship game, and that pretty much knocked them out of it. And on this play right here, they had the right play call, but they threw the screen the opposite direction of the blitz. Typically, you want to throw the screen into the blitz. Nice play call. They just picked the wrong side to run the screen.
Bartolik's punt is Deshaun Rogers steps up aggressively, and New Mexico will have excellent field position as they're just shy of midfield. That shows the value of their punter because they flipped the field before, and now they've got the ball at midfield.
Definitely, and I like what I'm seeing out of Rogers. He's being aggressive fielding the ball, trying to get it directly up the field and maybe give this team a spark.
First and 10. Trey Hall in the shotgun. Gives it off to Bobby Cole, and great defense from the Aggies. He's going to lose a couple yards on the play. Both running backs playing in the game today are former walk-ons. I mean, that's what happens when you get down to your 6th and 7th running backs. And how about this? This season, 19 different guys have carried the ball for New Mexico, and only 7 of those guys are healthy now.
Jeez.
That just doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, it makes it hard on the offense coordinator.
Hall sets up, and he just throws it short. He had a receiver open right there. Did a good look. Aaron Molina, who had a touchdown catch last week.
I like the play call, getting him out on the edge, being able to use his athletic ability. He's just got to be able to make that throw. It's a good route by Molina, getting out of his break, single coverage. You got to complete those passes.
A 3rd and long, not a position that the Lobos want to be in. This year, just 37% on 3rd down.
Looks like a blitz from the slot. Got the safety hanging over the slot receiver.
Might be coming from both ends, huh? Now they're going to back out of it. Yeah. Just a 3-man rush. Hall the throw, and that's almost picked off. And even if he would have caught it, didn't have enough for the 1st down.
Just like they fooled us with that fake blitz, I think they fooled Trey Hall also. He thought he had one coverage and threw right into the defender. That's a really good disguise by the defense right there. Justin Enna drawing up a great defense right there.
Well, considering how explosive the Utah State offense is, if you're New Mexico, remaining close, just hang around. Give yourself a chance in the 4th quarter. Jordan Nathan's back at his own 10. Dwyer's leg. He's trying to just squeeze this one inside the 20, something he does as well as anybody in college football. Incredibly, 62% of his punts, Eddie, this year have been down inside the 20. That's a crazy number.
Yeah, I mean, he really is a weapon. You know, normally you don't talk about a punter that much, but he actually deserves the praise. He's a guy that I expect to be kicking on Sundays, and Coach Davies even mentioned that he might be an NFL kicker. So just watching him today, I've been very impressed.
All right, let's go to Danny.
Well, first, I just want to remind our viewers, post photos on Instagram. We want to feature you right here on this broadcast. So post that photo, use the hashtag USU versus UNM, and we'll pull that photo and show it right here so that you can be featured on this broadcast as well. And guys, I do want to talk a little bit about Utah State's offensive line, because last year they protected Jordan Love with scary efficiency. I'm talking you can use your fingers and thumbs to count the amount of times that he was sacked. Just 10 times in 13 games last year. That was good for 4th in the nation. This year, it's an entirely new offensive line. 4 out of 5 of them are underclassmen, 3 are freshmen. And when I was talking to the coaches, both Stanford and Anderson, we were talking about the growth of the unit as a whole, and we were kind of asking them who is their leader on that, and they said it was actually Gerald Bright, the running back, that was mentioned as the leader of the offensive line. Bright has a great appreciation for what those guys do in the trenches, and his coaches say he's very vocal, very positive, but they also recognize how responsive the offensive line has been to his leadership, because you know, a leader is only as good as the people that are following him, right? The people that are listening to what he has to say. But Bright just needs 62 rushing yards to become just the 10th player in school history to rush for 2,000 yards in his career. So his efficiency on the field obviously earns him that respect, but off the field, it's definitely noticed as well.
Good stuff there on Gerald Bright, and there you see the numbers this season. Want to remind everybody, Stadium's got some college hoops today. It's tonight. On Stadium, we'll have Belmont visiting Middle Tennessee. You can catch the game at 8:30 Eastern on Stadium. The only 24/7 network on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Stadium, welcome to the game. And you know one small advantage that crew has over us?
What's that?
They'll be playing indoors.
Yeah.
Because we're in an outdoor booth up here. So normally it's just Danny suffering down there. But I feel like we're all in this together today. All right, so 1st and 10 for the Aggies from their own 15. The New Mexico defense has been outstanding. Gerald Bright, nice cut. Stuck his foot in the turf and made a good cut and picks up 9 on first down.
That's something. They had the right defense called it. Gerald Bright just made a great cut. He won his one-on-one battle and was able to get up the field.
2nd short. It's Bright again, picks up the first down across the 25.
I'll tell you what, do you think getting Bright that record is in the back of the coaches' minds? Of course you want to win, but...
Yeah, I mean, I would think 62 yards isn't asking that much either, right? I mean, I think that's well in their wheelhouse. Jordan Love dumps it off, and it is caught by Gerald Bright. If you heard a banging up in the booth, we have good news. We're okay. The monitor, maybe not. There may be funeral services for the monitor at the half. That thing went down hard. We just told you the elements are tough up here, and that monitor is banged up. You have to perform surgery. Are you a doctor?
No, I'm not. I think they might bill you for that.
Yeah, the wind is coming. Just so you have an idea, I can't tell you if we're showing you the wind because the monitor's broken. But I assume our outstanding producer, Olivia Stopsky, is showing you that the wind is howling here. All right, well, we've got people working on this, and we've got power, and things are happening. Danny, how are you surviving down there? Are you holding it all together?
Yeah.
They must have some, I mean, on the benches, they got like some kind of a heat something or other you can get involved in?
I'm trying to stand just anywhere that there's sun and avoid all shade, but it's actually funny you said that because I had just set my mic down to put this cover, like some earmuffs over my ears because this wind is definitely picking up. I was just thinking, you and I both live in Southern California. We're super not used to this. Eddie might be a little bit more used to it than we are.
I did play in Chicago for 2 or 3 years. So
exactly.
I'm kind of,
you
really
played Denver. I mean, it's not warm there either.
Yeah, but I'm not really a cold weather person. You never really get used to it. No one likes the cold weather.
Hallelujah to that. By the way, big deal there. Alex Hart being taken off the field. This guy is part of the heart and soul of the defense, that linebacker spot. Last year he tore his ACL in the third game. Has come back this year to lead the team in tackles.
It's a good play on his last name right there, right? It's pretty good.
Thank you, thank you. All right, we're almost told the booth is almost back up to 100%. Nice job, fellas. They keep it on the ground, and they just keep pushing that pile forward up to the 35-yard line. Another carry for Gerald Bright.
And I like this. I'm sure Gary Anderson is loving this, the up-tempo, the physical running of the football. He said he wanted his football team to come out and be physical.
Again on the ground, running over people. I'll tell you this, Gerald Bright's warmed up now.
And the up-tempo of this game is going to get to New Mexico. They don't have a ton of depth, so substitutions are going to be tough on them.
Look, without Alex Hart in the heart of that defense, like I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, he's everything. Now, Jordan Love has got all day. Going to sling it downfield. Rep's wide open, and he catches the football. Be first and 10 at the 15. Great job by Rep because the wind affected that throw, but he tracked it and hauls it in.
I love that Jordan Love just threw it up there. Rep was wide open. He just gave him a chance to make a play.
Get the receiver involved in the running game. The cutback by Jordan Nathan. He's brought down close to the 5-yard line. Nathan is a threat in the running game.
Rep is a guy that I've been very impressed with. We all saw that one-handed catch last week against Boise State. Maybe he'll get another chance here in the red zone.
Jordan Love throwing for the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Aggies. And it's your guy, Caleb Rep, making the play. Aggies on the board first, 6-0.
I tell you what, that's the perfect drive for Utah State. Running the ball, passing it. You got a little bit of play action in there. Right here, Jordan Love's able to scramble out a little bit and hit Caleb Rep in the back of the end zone.
Touchdown pass number 15 on the season for Jordan Love.
Very good concept. Just an easy corner route. Defensive back got lost in the coverage, and Caleb Rep made the secure catch. Very impressive drive by Utah State.
Dominic Eberle on for the extra point attempt. Okay, so one thing to keep your eye on this game. Dominic Eberle, with making that point in his career on extra points, is now 158 for 158, and he's a senior. So it's not happening on our watch. He's got to make every one of them today. I'm not having that announcer jinx, none of that stuff going on. I tell you, even late in the game, every extra point with Eberle, my heart's going to be pounding. I mean, to go your whole career, never miss one?
Yeah, I mean, it is windy today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm a little concerned for him.
Setting up perfect for it.
Eberle, one of the great kickers in America. Well, now we're going to learn what New Mexico is going to do. They going to stick with the game plan and just try to, mainly run the football? Or are they going to try to open things up?
I tell you what, if I'm New Mexico, I'm going to stick to the run, try to drain this clock and just play good defense. They've done a good job of slowing down Jordan Love so far. 7-0. If you'd have told Coach Davey it was going to be 7-0 at the end of the first quarter, he would have been happy with that.
All right, Eberle, that's a squib kick. Be pretty effective, too. Mexico picks it up and just trots right out of bounds. That was Bobby Cole. We're kicking into that wind. I think they figured don't just throw it up in the air and things can stop at the 35-yard line.
I like it. It was something different. It caught me off guard, so I'm sure it caught New Mexico off guard. I like the play.
All right, Trey Hall so far in the game, 1 for 4 passing, and he's got 3 carries for 7 yards. They're asking an awful lot, this redshirt freshman. Due to injuries, been forced into the lineup. And they'll keep it on the ground, getting to the edge. Pretty good run there. Emmanuel Logan Green, junior from Fort Lauderdale. You talk about a guy who's probably not used to playing in this kind of weather.
tell you what, I'm seeing a lot of man-to-man coverage. They're going to force Trey Hall to throw this ball. They're going to force New Mexico to beat them passing the ball, and they're going to see if they can do it because they're loading the box and just playing one-on-one coverage on the outside.
Second and 7. Keep it on the ground. Good defense from Utah State.
And now to Micah Gray.
Caden Anderson, 94, it appeared was in on the play. Junior from right in Logan. They really like his upside.
New Mexico should take a look at maybe trying to get Marcus Williams involved in the offense. A bigger tight end. He's built like a wide receiver. Maybe could find a mismatch in the secondary.
He's a unique athlete at 6'3", 215 pounds. Number 88 out there. 3rd and 6. Hall's in trouble. Now Lehi, his second sack already. Justin Tahey was also involved. We'll have to see who gets credit for it, but I would think now Lehi will get at least half, if not all of it. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, he's just coming off the edge. One-on-one pass rush move. He's able to use his speed and dip underneath the bigger right tackle and be able to use his speed to chase down Hall.
Hall had no chance there.
Yeah, no chance. It was tight coverage on the outside and a tough pass rush. Utah State is doing a great job on defense, and Justin Enna is calling a remarkable game right now.
Jordan Nathan waiting deep. He's at his own 25. And hold on, we've got a timeout. Timeout New Mexico. Coach Davey may have been concerned. Play clock was winding down, so they'll talk things over for a moment. 2:32 to go in the opening quarter. Just joining us, final regular season game for both these teams. We know that Utah State is bowl eligible. Certainly it would help what bowl game they go to with a win in this game. And look, they're still holding out hope. If Boise State wins out, they could be in a New Year's Day bowl, which would bump up all the teams in the Mountain West to one better bowl game. And Boise State has proven to be the best team in the Mountain West thus far this year. They came up with a tight win over Colorado State this weekend, 27-24.
And who are we kidding? You look and they're down their 4th string quarterback and they're missing a ton of running backs. It'd be a shame if they came in here and didn't get a win.
Yeah. Oh no, Utah State a significant favorite today. See what Dwyer can do with the leg behind, or with the wind behind him, that big leg. More of a line drive kick, and Nathan from his own 27. And Nathan, a nice return to the 40-yard line. It's a good field position for the Aggies. A word for New Mexico, if Utah State, gets rolling offensively, I don't know if New Mexico has the style offense to come back from a 3-score game if it gets to that point. It was 61-19 last year in Logan. Aggies coming away with the victory. So 1st and 10. Jordan Love in the shotgun. Keep it on the ground. Boy, that's a big hit at the 42-yard line. Warren, the ball carrier, but boy, he took a pretty good stick from Beaton. Latavion Beaton.
That's a big-time hit. That's showing you that, hey, I'm not going to back down from this contact. I love seeing that from the secondary.
But tell us the truth. It hurts a lot more when it's cold when you get hit.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you don't really want to do anything when it's cold.
Jordan Love up the sideline, good coverage, and there's a flag coming in. The coverage got all tangled up. Dejon Rogers.
Pass interference, number 6, defense. 15-yard penalty from previous spot, automatic first down.
Mariner's been the go-to guy for Jordan Love this year. He leads the team in receptions with 53.
Yeah, just an obvious call. I mean, he felt like he was beaten, pushed the guy out of bounds. The referee's standing right there. It was an easy call, probably the easiest one of the day.
Well, and compared to the NFL, the 15-yard penalty is better than giving up the touchdown, right? So probably a pretty smart play there if he felt he was beat.
Very smart play.
It's Warren, the cutback. Warren runs into a guy, stays on his feet, picks up 11, and another Aggies first down.
I like it. I like the physical football. I mean, hey, Coach Anderson said he wanted to have a much more physical team, and this was a physical run, and hey, he didn't back down, and he's still keeping them legs moving.
And Warren picks up 5. The offensive line starting to dominate. And again, this is a group that's very young. They're very hopeful that it's going to be one of the strengths of the team in the years to come. Jordan Love, a rare miss. Carson Terrell wide open.
And Love will have a couple throws a game here to where you just scratch your head. It's the easy throw. I mean, you feel like everybody can make it, but it just gets
We saw
away
it in the
from
NFL. I mean, in the NFL, you see guys miss 5-yard pass. It just happens sometimes. You just hope you minimize them. And good job for New Mexico staying home as they managed to keep the edge right there. Devin Sanders did a real nice job there. JUCO guy out of San Diego Mesa Community College. So 4th down, they're going to go for it. They figure with the wind, you can't kick into it.
See what they do, they get to the line of scrimmage really fast, and you got to show your hand on defense because you don't know if they're going to hike it or adjust the play. And right now they're adjusting it, getting into the right play call, and I see a lot of man-to-man coverage across the board.
4th down. Love feeling pressured. Going to try to scramble, then throw, and it's caught. 1st down, Aggies, play still going. It's Nathan. And a flag comes in. This may be a block down field, but New Mexico is claiming it's going the other way. And Rogers came up with the football. He's saying, I got it. That's not going to be what the call is on the field, at least not at the moment.
I love the emotion that Rogers is showing.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's playing with some fire.
Hey, and for his head coach, shows you how much he means to those guys.
Personal foul, blindside block, number 20 on the offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot, replay, 4th down.
Wow, that is a huge call right there.
Yeah, and they're just cracking down on this. They're trying to make the game a little safer for guys that don't see the block coming right there. The defender couldn't get his head around to be able to see that hit happen. So the referees are just trying to protect these players, and it's an unfortunate call for Utah State, but it was the right one.
So 14 seconds to go in the quarter. It's now 4th and 19 again. They're not even considering kicking it into this win.
This is very shocking in a way, but hey, I'm taking this as disrespect if I'm New Mexico. 4th and 19 and the offense is still out on the field.
Well, I mean, I just don't think they can make a field goal against the win.
I would still take it as disrespect.
Okay, all right.
Hey, you use anything you can to get motivated out there on the field.
And smart play by Utah State. They let the clock expire. They're going to go to the other end of the field, and maybe then we're going to see a field goal attempt.
Very smart.
Okay. So 1 quarter complete. Utah State Aggies lead the New Mexico Lobos 7-0. And for more on our conversation on Facebook, let's go to Danny.
Well, this game is crucial for Utah State. Yes, they've won enough games to be bowl eligible already, but the Mountain West will have 7 bowl eligible teams this season. So Utah State could be left out of the equation altogether because Mountain West have ties to 6 bowl games only. And those are the Las Vegas Bowl, Idaho Potato Bowl, New Mexico Bowl, Hawaii Bowl, Arizona Bowl, Armed Forces Bowl, and the Cheez-It Bowl. And the NCAA has a rule that they must take all teams with 7 or more wins before they can choose a 6-win team. So today's win is an absolute must for Utah State. Now, it's a very kind of muddy situation on different scenarios that could happen. We were talking to their communications director upstairs before the game, and he was even mentioning about how, you know, they could get a New Year's 6 bowl. Boise State possibly could, and that would shake things up even more. The Cheez-It Bowl is a conditional one for the Mountain West Conference. You can kind of see what will happen throughout other conferences if they don't maybe field enough teams for bowl eligible seasons, then Utah State possibly could get into a bowl game with just those 6 wins. But today's win is really crucial and will let them kind of relax a little bit in terms of getting the job done that they needed to get done during the regular season, and then we can just see what happens from there.
And Danny, when you think about it, for them to go 6-2 in Mountain West play, I mean, they deserve to play in a bowl game. I mean, anytime you go 6-2 in the conference, and they have road wins at San Diego State and Fresno State, it's definitely a team, I believe, that is worthy of playing in a bowl game. What do you think, Eddie?
I think so. I mean, you look at Jordan Love. I mean, I think you had a guy that was up for the Heisman at the beginning of the year. If you could get that type of star power coming in and playing in a bowl game for you, why not pick this guy? They're a very good team, well coached, and yeah, I'd have a hard time not picking them.
46-yard attempt for Dominic Eberle on the season. He's 18 for 21, along a 48. He does have the wind behind him now.
Eberle on to attempt a 45-yard field goal.
Kick is on the way, has the distance, and it is good. So Dominic Eberle, one of America's best placed kickers, drills the field goal from 46, and the Aggies now lead 10-0. Well, it really worked out pretty well for him, that penalty and then running off the end of the clock, because they did not want to kick on the other end of the field. But by waiting and having that penalty, they got a chance to kick on the other end.
Yeah, and that's something you got to give the coaching staff a lot of credit for, because hey, we were up here saying, what are they doing? But they knew exactly what they were doing, getting their team in the right position to be able to get 3 points on the board. So it all worked out. I tell you what, I think I saw Alex Hart back out there on the field. So it's great to see him back.
That'd be real good news.
It'd be big for that defense to have him back out there. He's the leader of that defense and makes all the calls. So they really do need him out there.
Eberle to kick it off. With his strong leg, I'd expect this thing to go through the end zone. Well through the end zone. That's got a boomer of a leg. He's another guy who may be playing on Sundays.
Yeah, I think so. He almost took out a cheerleader out there. They might want to pay attention to the football as they walk across the field.
All right, we'll see if the second quarter changes things for New Mexico, as they really haven't been able to get much going. Just one first down.
I tell you what, New Mexico, if I'm New Mexico, I'm just staying the course. Just continue to be who you are, a team that runs the football, play action, and you take your shots when they present themselves. Don't force anything at this time. And just the play, we had spoke about Marcus Williams before, about trying to get him involved in just an easy completion and get him to touch the ball to maybe get him in the flow of the offense and maybe take a shot with him down the line, because he's one of their better receivers and a big target for them.
Hall keeps it, fools everybody. Trey Hall out in open space, and that may have been a touchdown-saving tackle. Nifty play there and a great play fake from Hall.
That is exactly what you need to do. He made the right read. The defensive end crashed down, and he didn't expect Trey Hall to keep the ball, and he was able to get it. And, hey, it was one-on-one against Shaq Bond to be able to have a touchdown. And luckily for Utah State, Shaq Bond made the secure tackle.
22 yards on the play for Hall. Hall wants to throw, completes it.
Pass complete to Aaron Molina.
Molina with the catch.
It's ideal. Get a big play, a big chunk play, and then, hey, just get the ball out of your hand quickly. Let these receivers make the plays for you. They're playing a lot of man coverage, so you're going to have a chance to break some tackles and come away with some big gains.
And Hall this time breaks the tackle, still alive. And Hall turned a loss into a first down. Well done, Trey Hall.
I'm not going to say Lamar Jackson, but
slow down.
hey, this is actually he made the wrong read. He probably should have given that one to the running back, but being a great athlete that he is, he's able to use his feet and get up the field and get a first down. That's something as a young player. You're going to make mistakes, but then be able to get yourself out of it with your athletic ability.
One thing I'm a little surprised by, I thought New Mexico was going to take the play clock down under 5 seconds on every play to just try to shorten the game.
As you see, they are taking it every time at the line of scrimmage. They take a look at the sideline and see what the coach wants them to do.
Another big play for the Lobos. And cutting it back nicely is Bobby Cole. Good-looking drive for the Lobos. They continue marching it down the field.
Watch Trey Hall. Cole's able to get the edge. He's one of the bigger guys, so you don't expect him to be able to run away from people, but he got to the edge and got upfield and finished the run with a powerful finish. And Cole is one of those backs that coach said he'll just punish you.
Hall keeps it. And again, breaks the tackle. He's not going to get much out of it, but it seems that if it's just one-on-one, he's been able to break away from defensive ends.
He has, and Hall's made some plays now. I like what they're doing, and he's getting into the flow of the game. It's his first start, but Coach Davey said he's played a lot of football. He's from Texas, and as we all know, in Texas is a different brand of football. You're almost playing college football in high school.
And they play all year round.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, it never stops. 2nd and 9. Keep it on the ground, and it's Cole. He gets it close to a first down. I don't think he has it based on the spot, but it makes it a real manageable 3rd and short here. And by far the best drive of the day for the Lobos.
Yeah, this is the type of game that Utah State has had trouble with when teams are running directly at them. This New Mexico offensive line is a big physical offensive line, and you can see Utah State is having trouble stopping them.
I believe that Shaq Bond right there, the player who's shaken up. So timeout call on the field as they attend it. The good news is Bond's able to walk off on his own.
That'd be a huge blow to this defense. He's the playmaker out there.
And one of those 2 junior safeties, they really rely on him and Lethbridge.
Look at this New Mexico offense, man. I'm impressed with what they're doing. They're out there making plays and staying true to who they are. They're running the ball, they're being physical, and taking the opportunities to throw the ball when they present themselves, and they're doing a really good job right now.
3rd and short. And Hall wants to throw it. He didn't give his receiver much of a chance. He holds on, yes! Touchdown, Jordan Kress. Lobos on the board. How'd he catch this, Eddie?
I tell you what, that was very impressive, a fingertip catch, and I saw exactly what they saw. They saw one-on-one coverage with a smaller defensive back over there, DJ Williams, and they saw Wake Forest take advantage of this same matchup, a smaller defensive back in the red zone, and they just threw it up and let their guy make a play. This was an incredible fingertip catch and to be able to get his feet in bounds. Yeah, I think that's a touchdown. I mean,
All right, let's have another look. I thought he was going to run out of real estate.
Yeah, just a one-on-one throw. We saw Trey Hall do this twice last week against Air Force. Just throw it up and let his guy make a play.
All right, well, the left foot was down because the right foot actually hit out.
The right foot definitely hit out, but I think that left foot, and it was called a touchdown on the field.
Yeah, that's going to stand.
Yeah, it'd be too tough to overturn. That should be
no
a touchdown.
No way you can overturn that.
Yeah.
And he always had control of the football. I think that's going to be a long run for the officials to go look at it, but pretty easy call.
We might need to start looking at these gloves that these kids are wearing. We saw Caleb Rep last week with the one-handed catch, and now this one right here. This is impressive.
Yeah, left foot's down, ball. He has it.
Especially in the cold weather, you can barely feel your fingers. That's an impressive catch right there. Just to be able to beat the defender one-on-one. He keeps his eye on the ball and drags that foot. That's a drill that you practice every day, dragging that foot securing the catch and dragging the feet.
By the way, at least in today's NFL, DeAndre Hopkins, his ability with his feet near the sideline is second to none. I feel like multiple times they'd call it out, then they'd get together and they're like, nah, actually, he got feet in.
It looks like you shouldn't be able to make that play, and he's able to make it.
Yeah.
And so that's what the top guys do. And, hey, we saw this play right here. We didn't think that he was in.
No, I thought he was out.
But he was that's a very impressive
Ball
play.
in hand, left foot still on the ground.
Yeah, he had it secure the whole time.
And if this stands, Kress, his 6th receiving touchdown of the season. He's done a lot of good things for this team this year. The junior from Loveland, Colorado, and the call stands. A touchdown for the Lobos.
I love the drive. They mixed it up. They did everything. Ran the ball
After
through
further
it.
review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Andrew Shelley will come on for the extra point attempt. Redshirt sophomore from right here in Albuquerque. Getting a real good kicker for them. 4th all-time in field goal percentage. Try to knock this through the uprights and make it a 3-point game.
Tell you what, I give Joe Daly a lot of credit for that drive. Hey, you have a new starting quarterback, some walk-on running backs, and you're able to drive down the field and get a touchdown against this Utah State defense.
Shelley's extra point, no good. Well, we knew kicking in this direction would be a problem.
You jinxed the wrong kicker.
All right, let's go to Danny.
Well, guys, it's hard to know where to even begin when talking about all the off-the-field incidents that this New Mexico team has had to face this year, but I'm going to do the best job that I can here. Davey did call it a whole season of, did that really just happen? And it goes back, let's start with the season opener. They win that game. The Lobos win that game. Coach Davey is celebrating with his team. Next thing he knows, he collapses with extreme chest pains. He's rushed to the hospital, misses their next game at his former school where he used to coach in Notre Dame. Luckily, Davey made a full recovery. Then the next issue hit. The Lobos had to suspend their quarterback indefinitely for some off-of-the-field issues. And then a couple weeks ago, the starting nose tackle, Najee Flowers, passed away from suicide. This obviously rocked the team. They had a private memorial service a few days later. They ended up rescheduling their Air Force game that was happening that week. But that Boise State game was their first game after his passing, and you can see a photo there of them carrying out his jersey. So pile all of those off-the-field issues on top of all the injuries that they've faced this season. 1/4 of their roster out with injuries in just 10 games. And then it's announced before their final game of the season that their head coach will not be back next season. It all boils down exactly to what Davey said to us. Did this just happen? I think it's a huge credit to the team that's out here on the field that they were able to rally and come out here every single week and put together a strong performance and try to flip the script on what's going on. But Eddie, I know you were at Virginia Tech when that shooting happened. I know you've had teammates die as well. I mean, what is it like to have to be able to bounce back from situations like that?
Yeah, it's incredibly tough, and for this New Mexico team, it's emotionally draining. You know, it's hard enough not winning football games, but then to have one of your best players suspended, then to be able to lose a teammate. I went through that where I lost a teammate when I was at the Denver Broncos, and it's hard to deal with because it comes out of nowhere and you don't expect it, and that's one of your best friends. You see this person every single day, and they just think 1 minute they're here and the next they're gone. It's tough to deal with, and then have to turn around and play another game. That's hard on this team, so I give Coach Davey a lot of credit for what he's been able to do with this team and to get these guys out here fighting hard for each other.
And that kick's going to go out of bounds, so their attempt at a pooch kick doesn't work out. Well, I think one of the things that he talked about is that he just wanted in this last game for the guys to just go out and play and have fun. He's like, they've been through so much. Just go out there, just play football, let loose, see what happens, and try to remember the joy in football and the joy of playing with your teammates.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. You know, you get involved with football because of the camaraderie, the family atmosphere, the bond that you create with your teammates, and that's forever. That lasts forever. You know, you leave and these guys are your brothers. They become family after that.
1st and 10 for the Aggies from their own 35. They've gotten points in their last 2 drives. It's Warren. Warren brought down at the 38-yard line. Warren, a junior from Salt Lake City. He's flashed at times this year. He's played banged up a bunch.
And I know we're up here and we're cold, but people at home watching the game, the cold weather affects the game. It affects how you play. It affects the quarterbacks throwing the ball and the running backs holding on to the ball. Even the kicking game, we just saw a missed extra point.
Love had all kinds of time. Now he's looking to create, and that pass is behind Jordan Nathan. And keep in mind, the Aggies are now playing with the wind. So that's a whole nother adjustment for the quarterbacks. Some quarterbacks will say it's even harder to throw with the wind than it is against the wind.
Yeah, and it's hard for a receiver also. We were watching a game earlier, and we saw a guy get hit in the face mask with a ball. So just adjusting to the ball and the wind, it makes it a lot tougher. And now we see both teams, they're getting to the line of scrimmage quickly and looking to the sideline and getting their team in the right play.
Now Jordan Love's going to keep it and get an Aggie first down and do the smart thing and slide, protect that body. But one of the things you mentioned, this is a big part of his game, is that he has the ability to do it with his feet.
He does, and he probably should do it more often. And that almost looked like a quarterback draw. He didn't really look downfield too much. He just took off, and that's something that they should take advantage of more, him being able to get outside the pocket and use his feet and pick up first downs that way.
Short gain there for Jordan Nathan. 2nd and 6. Gain of 4 for Jalen Warren.
I'm noticing they got Caleb Rett playing outside, the big tight end. He's been lined up outside this entire drive. I'm looking to see if maybe they're waiting for a one-on-one opportunity to take a shot to their big tight end down the field.
3rd and short. Love looking to go downfield. Guys wide open. One-handed catch. What a play. Mariner makes the play. The throw was behind him and somehow makes the circus catch.
Yeah, we just talked about Hopkins and Mariners doing his best impersonation of him. And I'm telling you, with the wind, being able to adjust to that ball and secure that, like I said, we might have to take a look at these gloves. These kids are making incredible catches.
Eddie wants to inspect the gloves. He's coming down at halftime. I want to make sure they're legal. Love on the keeper. He's going to be stood up, no place to go. Oh, that's Columby who checked into the game. Henry Columby, the backup quarterback. He's a sophomore. He's gotten a little bit of play this year in garbage time. Not usually in there.
We like Columby. You remember we saw him back against Stony
And we liked Andrew Peasley, too, the freshman who came in and ran it. Jordan Love's back out there. Give to Jordan Nathan. Great block, and he's in for 6. Touchdown, Aggies. Well, that was quite a quick response right there.
I'll tell you what, Jordan Nathan is getting credit for the touchdown, but it really goes to Jalen Warren. This block, look at number 20 out there with the lead block. He clears the way for Nathan to be able to get into the end zone. Yeah, it's a big lineman out there pulling, but this running back, he's normally used to running the ball, but he gets out there and makes the unselfish play and gives the lead block for Nathan to get into the end zone. Very unselfish play right there, and nice play call by the offensive coordinator, Mike Sanford.
And it's nice to have the versatility of Jordan Nathan, who helps out in the kick return game. He's an excellent receiver, and if you need to, you can give him the ball and he can carry it. And right there, he takes it for 6. And let's check in with Danny, who's got a Wendy's poll question for us.
Yeah, well, before we get into that, I want to remind everybody to join the conversation. Remember, post those photos on Instagram. I'm excited to feature your faces right here on the broadcast. All you got to do is use the hashtag USU versus UNM, and I'll pull that photo and show it right here. But yes, it is time for another poll question brought to you by Wendy's, and it has to do with pretty extraordinary catches, which is what we just saw Mariner do. He's actually in this conversation as well as Rep. There were 2 phenomenal catches early on in the season for Utah State. Let's take a look at both of them, and you will decide which one was better. Starting with Caleb Rep. touchdown versus Boise State last week. One-handed touchdown grab that tied the Aggies with Boise State Broncos. I mean, unbelievable. Tied it up 7-7. It was actually his first catch of the game. Then moving on to Seosi Mariner. This touchdown came at a critical time in the late second quarter, gave the Aggies a 21-17 lead over Wake Forest. So that catch was actually at first overturned, or first they didn't say that it was a touchdown, then it was overturned and said that it was. You just saw him do a one-handed catch there again. So you know he's got some great capabilities, but it's just between those two plays. So here's the poll presented by Wendy's once again. Whose catch was better, Rep or Mariner? Guys, what do you think?
I mean, to me, Eddie gets to decide. I mean, he played receiver in the NFL, right?
Right.
Like, what do you think, Eddie?
You know what? I'm going with Mariner. I think being able to catch that ball and have the wherewithal to put your foot down back in bounds was incredible. I mean, we're seeing guys make one-handed catches every day now. So, I mean, Mariners was great, but with these gloves and us not knowing what's on these gloves, Danny could probably make a one-handed catch out there. So, hey, I believe in you, Danny. Maybe we'll try it out. We'll get you some gloves and see if you can pull it off.
Danny can catch barehanded out there right now.
Absolutely, guys. I mean, come on. Give me some credit. Beautiful long nails and all. I got that thing.
Eberle getting set to kick it off. 7:44 to go in the opening half. 17-6 our score. And Eberle, another real strong boot. No chance at a return. All right, we're going to need to see Trey Hall and the Lobos come up with another good drive. They want to keep pace with the Aggies. He looked real good on his last drive. His number's now 4 for 7 for 20 yards through the air. He's got 7 carries for 22 yards.
I say just keep doing what they were doing last drive, mixing it up, the running a pass. Even if you don't complete the longer throws, you're still taking a shot. It keeps the defense on notice. I'm seeing one-on-one coverage at the top of the screen again, so maybe they'll look to the sideline and call a pass play.
That was tough. Barely got the handoff executed to Bryson Carroll because of the penetration from the Utah State defense.
And that's the thing. You can't give Jordan Love the ball back quickly because that's when momentum swings happen, and then you take a look up at the scoreboard and you're down by 21 points. That's what this Utah State team is capable of doing, and so New Mexico's got to find a way to keep this drive sustained.
All the throw, and that's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That's Jacoby Wildman, 93. He's got his hand up in the air to make sure everybody knows he made the play. But even on those quick hitters, Utah State defensive line's being coached really well to get their hands up. They've knocked down a couple of passes.
Yeah, they got some bigger guys on that defensive line, and if you can't get there for the sack, they're taught to get their hands up and be able to make plays like that.
So now 3rd and long, 3rd and 12.
I'd love to see a double move at the bottom of the screen.
If they can get enough protection, blitz is coming. We're going to have a false start. Now, do you think the officials have long underwear on under those uniforms? They don't have a lot on.
They gotta have something because they don't even look that cold.
Yeah.
I'm up here freezing.
And one outdoor booth game of the year came with wind chill in the 20s. Trey Hall is going to scramble. Look to cut it back. Won't pick up the first down. He's going to make life a little easier on his punter.
I'll tell you what I just saw. Utah State had a blitz called the last play before the false start. Trey Hall is able to get outside the pocket and just get up the field. It's a nice move. But you want to see your quarterback, especially Coach Davey, not having many quarterbacks, maybe get down if you can't get the first down.
We're going to see how good a punter Tyson Dwyer really is punting into this win. I mean, it's coming right now at him. And he goes for a low line drive kick. And that ball literally stops when it hits the ground. So Utah State will have it at their own 34-yard line. Fresh or frozen, the Wendy's fan of the game. Wendy's the official hamburger of the NCAA. Fresh or frozen, this is perfect for today's game. Are they fresh or are they frozen? They're both. Yeah. It's a game. Just being out here in this weather. All right, this kid's frozen.
He's loving it.
Well, I'm not sure. Look, he's down and out. All right, Jordan Love and the Aggie offense back out there, and they've been real efficient their last 3 times with the football, coming up with all 17 of their points. It's Gerald Bright. Bright across the 40. For those of you wondering how close Gerald Bright is to 62 yards he needs, give him another 4 there. He's up to 39 yards in the game. Looking like he's going to get to 2,000 in his career.
It's a big-time honor for a guy who's meant so much to this program.
And Bright that time tripped up the line of scrimmage. It's one of the star linebackers. I know Polo, along with Alex Hart. Those are the guys in the middle of that defense at linebacker. He's number 2 on the team in tackles with 66. Jordan Love into some traffic. It's incomplete. That brings him 4th down. So a nice job by the Lobo defense in getting Nagy's offense off the field.
Yeah, that defense did a heck of a job. Coach Sanford said that he wanted to avoid as many 3rd downs as possible because a lot of times they bring more people than you can block. And this time they did that. They were able to get a hit on Jordan Love and cause an incomplete pass.
Bartolek to punt. Sean Rogers waits at his own 10. Real good punt. Inside the 10 is Rogers, and he spins forward to the 13-yard line. To give the New Mexico defense credit, that was one of those danger moments where the game could have gotten out of hand. The New Mexico defense gets the stop.
And that really shows you the fight in this team. You know, there's not any giving up. They're not looking at their records or even the scoreboard. They're just out there playing hard and playing for each other.
All right, players to watch. And here we see Rep making the play downfield. Big gainer for him. Mariner, you guys come up with 2 great catches. And Danny, what's the update on the poll?
Yeah, well, the poll presented by Wendy's, so we had over 600 votes. Rep won just a smidge, 54%. Everybody seems to not be agreeing with you, Eddie, because I think you said Mariner, right, up there. So right now, Rep is ahead on that poll. Thanks so much, guys, for voting.
We appreciate it.
I swayed the vote enough. You know?
You think you thought it was going to be more lopsided?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Rep's catch was more impressive, but I'm telling you, being a receiver and getting your feet in bounds, that's a tough thing to do, being pushed out of bounds at the same time.
What was the single coldest game you played in your NFL career?
I think it was a playoff game in New England against Tom Brady. We had to go to Foxborough, and it was just freezing cold. And I'm not going to tell you the coach, but he told us not to stand by the heaters for some reason. They said that it made us look soft.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, well, standing away from them just makes us look cold. So,
you tell him, Eddie.
yeah,
That's where you got to have one of those player council meetings and, tell the coach, hey, we got to stay warm. Man.
Yeah, he didn't make it too much longer after that.
All right, Danny, how about you in the cold?
Well, I just wanted to know Eddie's take on the coaches that have those players walk out there on those really cold games with no jersey on or anything on the beginning warm-ups, trying to show their toughness without a shirt on.
Yeah, but what people don't see is those guys go back into the locker room and are just shivering.
They don't show you that part of the intimidation factor.
Exactly.
All right, Trey Hall and the Lobo offense go to work from their own 13-yard line. And Trey's going to keep it himself. Now Leai got a little bit of help there.
Yeah, Utah State staying home now. They're not going to allow Trey Hall to make any more plays with his feet with that read option. They're saying go ahead and run the ball. We got linebackers inside that can make those plays.
Got some help on that play from Eric Munoz. Only recently got inserted in the lineup. He's a walk-on coming off. Came a couple weeks ago with 13 tackles. He was the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Week. Ooh, Hall almost able to break that one for a big play. Bring up 3rd and short.
If they can keep getting him in these one-on-one situations, he's won majority of them. If they can continue to get him one-on-one with the defender, he's going to come away with some more big plays. Munoz, though, that's a great story. The kid had 2 interceptions that game also, former walk-on. I love that story, just seeing that.
And a push, and it'll be a first down for the Lobos. They definitely do not want to give Jordan Love the ball back, especially with Love playing with the wind.
Yeah, just keep the ball. Try to hold it as long as you can before the half, because Love doesn't need much time. Just give him a couple seconds. He can get out there, get a completion, and then get a long field goal. So protecting the ball and the clock right now is very important for New Mexico.
Oh, the delayed handoff works nicely. Another good carry for Bobby Cole. He's got 6 carries now for over 40 yards in the game.
And Utah State is daring New Mexico to throw the ball. It's clearly man-to-man coverage, and they're not even trying to hide it or disguise it. They just feel like they got the better players on the outside, and they don't think that their quarterback, New Mexico's quarterback, could beat them with his arm.
It's Hall with it. And Hall breaks the tackle, another tackle, and works his way into Utah State territory. Fine play there from Trey Hall.
Okay, maybe not Lamar, but maybe Vince Young. He's maybe the number. Maybe the number is throwing me off, but number 10 right here is looking good. He's getting to the outside with the ball in his hand. He looks more like a wide receiver or a running back. He's able to break some tackles. He's a big, strong kid, and he's fighting for extra yards. And I love seeing that extra effort from your quarterback. It can only get your team fired up.
Well, you saw this week that Ravens safety Earl Thomas said the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl. What do you think about that prediction this early in the year?
I love it as a fan. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure Coach Harbaugh didn't appreciate it.
I bet he didn't like that, no.
Yeah, you just adding the bullseye on your back, adding pressure that you don't need. But Earl Thomas is a confident guy, and he believes in that team. And
he's won a Super Bowl. He knows.
Yeah,
he knows what it takes.
I don't blame the guy. I mean, they're rolling right now, and he's only trying to instill confidence in that team. So Lamar's playing great, and if he keeps playing like that, I don't see anybody beating him.
Stadium is your place for college hoops. San Diego State visits Colorado State. You can catch all the action Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Facebook. Stadium, welcome to the game. And Danny and I will be there along with Doug Gottlieb. And I want to rub it in, Eddie, but that game will be indoors.
So you'll be able to feel your feet.
Yeah, right now I need like some of those, like you had those little hand warmers. We need feet warmers.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. 2:45 and counting. Good drive going here for the Lobos. Hall going downfield. Back shoulder. That is picked off by Utah State, DJ Williams. He was so calm how he reacted to it, I wasn't sure he had it.
Yeah, he made it seem like he didn't catch it.
No big deal.
Maybe we need to look at a replay on this one or something. But, I mean, it was great coverage. Like I said, they were daring New Mexico to take a shot because they felt like the defensive backs they had were better than the receivers. And right here, he secures the interception. That was great coverage.
And he just kind of was usually guys pop up and dance around.
That's a confident guy expected to make the play. Act like you've been there before. So he did that. Hey, DJ Williams is a guy who's been an all-conference defensive back, and he made a play right there and showed you why.
1st and 10 for the Aggies. 2:29 is plenty of time for them with all 3 timeouts. Go to the outside to rep and no place to go. Well defended by the Lobos.
Yeah, you take a look at that. As soon as he caught the ball, he had guys swarming around him. I mean, that's just really good defense. Guys running to the ball and showing that extra effort. You see Alex Hart over there trying to make a play.
Jordan Love all day. It's a good thing he didn't complete that to Warren because he was in big trouble. He had a linebacker coming right at him.
Yeah,
so all of a sudden now there's a chance for New Mexico to get the ball back.
Yeah, you watch and hey, he had time to throw the ball. There's just nobody open. So this secondary who's been struggling all year is stepping up to the challenge.
3rd and 8. 2 minutes to go in the half. See great balance, 101 yards rushing, 106 passing.
See, it's a man-to-man defense.
Love's going to get hit on the throw, and it's incomplete. There was some contact with the receiver, but no call. And it's another win for the New Mexico defense.
It was, and they actually had the right play call. You know, when the defense is playing man-to-man, you want to do mesh concepts, meaning crossing routes to be running away from the defender. Utah State had that play called up. They just couldn't connect on the play. It was a very good pass rush by New Mexico.
Huge punt. Rogers circling it to get it. Ooh, that's dangerous. He gets it, and then he gets whipped down to the ground at the 20. It's a terrific job there on special teams from Utah State. Now, New Mexico's got 2 timeouts in 1 minute and 42 seconds.
I love the aggression, picking up the ball, but at some point you got to be smart. You know, he wants to make a play, and they've only won 2 games this year, and, hey, he feels like it's nothing to lose, but you still got to be smart because that one turnover could change the whole momentum of the game, but I appreciate him wanting to make a play for his team.
Wants to throw it, and that's batted up in there. Boy, they've continued to do a great job there. Was that Tae? 51, I think, got his hands up in there. They've knocked down at least 3 balls on those quick hitters.
Yeah, because they recognize that they want to get rid of the ball quickly, so you're probably not going to get to the quarterback, so just get your hand up.
I think if you're New Mexico, you might want to consider running the ball here to at least force Utah State to use their timeouts.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to go 3 incomplete passes and give Jordan Love the ball back. And they will keep it on the ground. You've got to stay in bounds.
Yeah, that is not what you want to stay in bounds.
You do not want to go out of bounds there.
Yeah, you want to keep the clock going, but I love the chess match that's going on between Utah State and New Mexico. Utah State is getting into their defense, and New Mexico is changing the offensive play to try to get to the right play, and then you see Utah State change the defense again. So it's just really a chess match going back and forth.
I expect them to run it again and force Utah State to use the timeout as long as they don't run out of bounds. Uh-oh, Trey Hall's lost it. Recovered by Utah State. And this is a disaster. Last thing that the Lobos needed right there. Just give Jordan Love in the offense a short field.
Yeah, it's just another example of what Coach Davey said, a season of did that really just happen? You know, a snap that's easy execution, as we've seen over and over again. New Mexico hasn't been able to execute the simple plays. Last week we saw an easy point after a touchdown get blocked and returned for 2 points. And so you can't make plays like that and expect to beat a good team like Utah State.
Again, Utah State has all 3 timeouts. They can do whatever they want here. It's Gerald Bright, and he's just shy of the goal line.
So what we saw was a similar play to what we saw on the touchdown to Jordan Nathan. They showed the same exact motion, but this time they faked it and handed it to Gerald Bright. The goal of that play is to try to get the defense running out wide and then sneak the ball up the middle. They were able to do that, just came up a few yards short.
Oh, now they changed the rule on the field to a touchdown. It makes it 23-6.
Yeah, I love the concept, just showing the defense the same exact thing. And here's Gerald Bright giving that extra effort. Are we sure that's a touchdown?
How was that roll to touchdown? I mean, the guy's knee was down before the ball got there.
Previous play is under further review.
They had it right the first time.
Yeah. Hey, maybe they're getting cold down there and it's affecting them. I think Bright's got to be getting close to that record.
Yes. Well, they haven't added this play yet because they're waiting to see what it is. I mean, after looking at this, there's no way this is going to be a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, you look. Let's see, that knee is down, and he's not there.
Yeah. And Bright's got to be careful of fumbling that ball right there. I know you want to score the touchdown, but also be smart and take care of the ball. But I love the effort. It's just about playing smart football.
After further review, the runner's knee was down with the ball at the half-yard line. That'll be a first down, Utah State.
Can the refs wear gloves?
I don't see why not.
Hey, he doesn't have gloves on. I don't know. He must be from a cold state or something. He must be used to this. Speaking of Coach Sanford, he spoke about pick plays in the red zone.
Give it right back to Bright. And this time he's in. Touchdown Aggies. So that 1 more yard. He's at 53 yards. Just needs 9 more to get to 2,000.
I feel good about him getting that.
Way to go out on a limb there, Eddie.
Yeah. Offensive line is doing a heck of a job blocking and getting pushed against that defensive line. Even though they had a free runner at the running back, Bright just makes a nice cut to the left to be able to get away from the free defender, be able to get up the field and get the touchdown.
High snap. Eberle's kick is good. The streak is intact.
I got a little bit nervous.
I get nervous. It was a high snap, you know?
Yeah.
And that's 159 in a row for Eberle.
Bright's a very good runner around the goal line. He's not the biggest guy, but he knows how to move his body around to be able to get in between those big guys and get the touchdown.
His 8th rushing touchdown of the season and the 27th of his career.
And they spoke about him being the leader of the offensive line. Wouldn't you be if you needed those guys to protect you?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think
taking them to dinner, getting them some gloves.
What did Emmitt Smith do? Didn't he buy all those guys Rolex watches or something?
I'm not sure that's within the NCAA rules.
Yeah, you're right.
Nice idea, though. Yeah. And Eberle, another kick that'll go through the back of the end zone. But I don't know, if I'm New Mexico, I might not try to do much here. I realize they got nothing to lose at 2-9, but based on what just happened, I might just run 3 simple running plays and play for the second half.
I like that approach.
Yeah, because they're going into the win. What do you think the chances are they're going to have hot cocoa downstairs at the half?
I'm hoping high because I want some and some feet warmers. If anybody's listening that can help.
Yeah. Where's Frank, the best ID you could ever hope for? Come on, Frank. Where's the hot cocoa? And they will keep it on the ground. And nobody's calling timeout.
Oh, no, Gary Anderson just called timeout, I think.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, Gary. He's going for the jugular right now.
Hey, he's trying to get to a bowl game. I don't blame him.
Well, he's already bowl eligible.
Yeah. But this win is definitely going to help them get into one.
Right.
I mean, 6 is iffy, but 7 is you're definitely in.
It also says a lot that he doesn't think that New Mexico is going to try to be aggressive here. So if he uses 2 more timeouts, figure he can get the ball back maybe about a little more than 40 seconds. And with their great field goal kicker with the wind behind him.
Yep. I like the approach. I mean, hey.
Yeah, I think it says a lot to your team. It says, hey, man, we're going to try to play every play, play the full 60 minutes.
Yeah. You can almost hear the disappointment in his voice about the loss last week. I think getting this momentum, maybe trying to get another score, or give this offense and this team some confidence, and maybe carry it over to the bowl game that they're potentially going to be in. So it's a whole mentality that he's trying to create right here.
Uh-oh, ball's on the ground. That's exactly what New Mexico didn't want to have happen. Waiting for an official signal. This would be 2 late turnovers in their own territory for New Mexico. And it's Utah State ball.
The theme of did that really just happen is continuing.
Yes.
I mean, you expect just a simple handoff, and yet you have a young quarterback, and this is what happens when you have young players out there playing for the first time. At the end of the half, you just want to make this simple play and hand the ball off. No confusion. And right here, they weren't able to do that. Trying to make a play. I understand what Hall wants to do. He wants to make a play, but that wasn't the time. It'll be a great learning experience for him.
So they got 49 seconds to 2 timeouts. They can do whatever they want here. They run it with Nathan. They'll do the smart thing and run out of bounds to stop the clock.
And you just got to think about how deflated this defense feels from New Mexico. I mean,
they played real well for most of the first half.
They've been fighting hard, but now, hey, they're thinking that they're going into the half and can rest up. But then you got to find your helmet and get back on the field and try to play again.
Jordan Love the throw, and Mariner will step out of bounds after a first down. Still 37 seconds to go in the half. 2 timeouts.
The thing is,
remember, Utah State plays in the 2-minute offense the whole game, so this is no big deal for them to hurry things up.
Jordan Love missed Jordan Nathan going up the seam wide open. I wonder if the coaches saw the same thing and might try to get back to a similar play call and hit him up the seam for the touchdown.
Look, and Frank's bringing hot chocolate. See, you ask and Frank delivers.
There we go.
Gerald Bright stays in bounds. Thank you, Frank. I've told Frank I've loved him before, but now I want the whole world to know. I love you, Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
Oh, man, that's an SID that cares.
Yeah, it tells you there's good people here.
He gave you a hat.
He did give me a hat.
Yes.
Just a little simple pass play to Gerald Bright. Getting up the field. Nice gang tackle there by the New Mexico defense. They're still out here fighting hard, even though it's cold and the score doesn't favor them at this point. Those kids are still out there fighting hard for each other.
Oh, goodness. Bob Davie, been a tough end of this half. 24-6. Worst case scenario could be 31-6. It could have been 17-6 had they just been a little bit more careful with these last couple of minutes. In an 11-point game, you feel like you're still in it. They show blitz, go to the end zone, caught, touchdown Aggies. Derek Wright gets the touchdown, his second of the year.
I tell you what, this Utah State team has so many weapons. Wright is able to come in. It's an easy post pattern. I tell you what, they saw this from Air Force have success having a similar play. They ran the post route, just running away from the man-to-man coverage, getting the defensive back to think you're going one way and then sticking your foot in the ground and going the other. And Jordan Love making an accurate throw with the win. I've been impressed so far. Jordan Love's, He's impressing me and doing what he needs to do, taking care of the ball and making all the correct throws and all the right reads.
He's 12 for 23, 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. Pretty solid numbers in these conditions.
They are, and they don't even sound that great of numbers, and when you're watching them, you would think that the numbers would be better. I mean, he had a few plays here and there, but he's playing clean.
And how demoralizing for New Mexico. I mean, to give up 14 points in the last 2 minutes and a half. Really just by your own mistakes.
Yeah, this is similar to the Utah State team of last year. You blink and then they've scored 21 unanswered points, and that's how they won a lot of games. And I'm sure that they expected to do a lot more of this year, and they haven't been able to do that. So maybe this game will carry over into the bowl and then into next season. So it was a big-time drive for Utah State.
Another touchback, and I would think they're just going to take a knee here.
Yeah. I mean, get under center. Don't even risk fumbled snap, because that's what happened the first time. The center rolled the ball back there, and hey, try to get under center and get the ball and get out of there.
It does appear they're going to try to run a play. That should be the final play of the half. Gary Anderson's not going to call another timeout, is he? No, that's going to do it.
Yeah.
All right, a first half that was pretty darn competitive for a good stretch. It was 10-6. Felt like New Mexico.
Some more points on the board.
Hall's going to keep it. Big hole. Stumbles forward. Picks up the first down.
Off the left side. Out of bounds at the 40.
And on this play, Justin Enna, the defensive coordinator, isn't going to be happy. They didn't set the edge. They broke the quarterback was able to break, contain, and be able to get outside and make a big play with his feet. That's exactly what happened on the drive, that they were able to get some points on the board. Hall was able to make some plays with his feet, get a few completions, and then get some points on the board. So we'll see if they can do the same thing here on this drive.
Lots of room. Scampering into Utah State territory is Bryson Carroll.
Brought down by number 3,
Yeah, just a really good block right here. Able to get to the edge. That sealed block by the offensive tackle, and Carroll's able to use his speed and then make some plays downfield. If I'm Gary Anderson, I've got to be frustrated with the way that we've come out. You want them to have a sense of urgency and maybe get it 3 and out and give New Mexico no hope, but this is the exact opposite of what's happening.
1st and 10. Not much doing there. Trey Hall picks up a couple of yards. Have you ever done jumping jacks during a game to stay warm? Would you maybe consider doing some calisthenics up here?
I've done everything to try to stay warm. And nothing really helps other than standing beside those heaters they got down there.
A strong start to the second half for the Lobos.
You even see me with this silly hat on, man. I'm up here doing anything.
I like the knit cap on you. It's a good look. On the ground is Carroll, and he'll step out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, that's a different dimension and that Carroll adds to this offense. He actually has the speed to be able to get to the edge and make a play. Normally Cole is the big back that you pound up the middle, so you don't get a different dosage between each running back. And now you've shown that you can run outside, so we'll see if New Mexico tries to do a ground and pound with some inside run here.
Again, I know they're down big, but I thought our whole goal was going to be to win the time of possession. And here they're doing a better job. They're taking time off the play clock. It's winding down on them, and they need to go. I'll tell you this about Trey Hall. We talked about him being a Texas kid, and him being tough. you know, in a game like this, when you're down, you might want to hand it off more, but he's keeping it himself and taking the hits.
Yeah, he's not minding it.
No?
He fooled me on that play. He's got some great fakes. I thought the running back had the ball on that one, so he was able to do a good fake and get the ball up the field. I mean, he's a big kid. He can take those hits, and he doesn't mind them. Maybe it's help him warm him up a little bit.
Uh-oh. Ran into each other. It's going to work out okay as Micah Gray ends up with it, but that is certainly not by design.
Yeah, and we gotta remember the fact that Trey Hall has only had 1 week of practice preparation with this group of guys.
Sure,
so
and he's playing with 2 former walk-ons.
Yeah, and so there's going to be some mishaps like that, and you just try to minimize them as much as possible. You try to pull back on the offensive play calls and give them a small section to work with, and then hopefully they can execute those. But there's going to be a few plays here and there where there's a miscommunication.
That's Caden Anderson who's being helped off the field.
And I tell you, New Mexico is able to run the ball a lot, and we spoke about Woodward being out, and he was that guy in the middle that just kind of – we saw a game where he had 20-plus tackles. I think he's done that a couple times in his career. So a guy that was just running around making plays, and you see that Utah State is maybe missing that guy in the middle, the leader, and just kind of that whole defense. He sets the tone for that defense, causing a lot of havoc out there.
And the cut back. And it's going to be 1st and goal. Great carry there for Micah Gray.
Yeah, Utah State's just not – they just need to be able to set the edge better. This big offensive line is playing a physical brand of football, and just like Coach Anderson alluded to, we have trouble with these physical teams.
And he's going to be stopped short of the goal line.
And you get up to the line of scrimmage and try to get a quick play off to try to get into the end zone, thinking that defensive line is tired after running the ball on consecutive plays.
Stadium is the only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Catch live and on-demand games, extensive highlights, classic games, and original programming. Check your local television listings or go to watchstadium.com. Stadium, welcome to the game. And another chance here, and it's Trey Hall, fools everybody. Give him 6. Touchdown, Lobos.
Just another great fake by Trey Hall. He's done a really good job of knowing when to keep the ball and when to hand it off. That one right there, he deserved it. He worked his butt off to get the team down here. And think about the fight that this team is showing Coach Davey in his last game. They could have came out and laid down, but look, the first drive of the second half, they come out and get points. That shows you how much they care about their coach.
Shelley's extra points. He's 0 for 2 on this, and this could be picked up and taken for 2 points. But good hustle there from Shelley. Actually made the play. For Hall, that was his first rushing touchdown of the season. Again, he's only really gotten a chance to play the last couple of weeks.
This is almost unbelievable. The fact that they do something really well, and then something bad happens. You're just like, what is going on with this team?
Go ahead.
All right, let's go to Danny.
Well, let's keep this conversation on Jordan Love and the NFL going a little bit, shall we? But let's add a little Mountain West twist at the end of this. But first, we talked about how he's been in the conversation as possibly the 6th best quarterback prospect. I want to take a look at the guys that he's been in the same conversations with. You've got Joe Burrow from LSU, Jacob Easton from Washington, Jacob Fromm from UGA, Herbert from Oregon, Boo Ducks. You know, I had to throw that in there, Ari. Jordan Love, obviously, and then Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama. I am curious to know if the injury to Tua will affect this lineup whatsoever. Will it have any residual damage down the line? What do you guys think? And then I need you to come back to me because we gotta throw out this poll here.
Well, anyway, you think at least in the short term it could negatively affect Tua in terms of his body being right and for all the things coming up. He's not going to be ready for the combine. He's not going to be ready to do pro day. So those things will affect. But there was enough body of work to know what Tua can do.
Yeah, and so I had a similar injury. I broke my hip when I was in the NFL, and so it took me a year to come back. I was able to play that next season, but it's something that shouldn't affect him moving forward,
Right.
but it does raise concern of whether he could take the beating of an NFL season. So that does raise questions, but as far as him throwing the ball, I have zero questions about him. He's one of the most accurate guys out there.
Well, let's get to the poll presented by Wendy's, shall we? Who was your favorite Mountain West draft pick? You got the Carr brothers there. You got Colin Kaepernick, Josh Allen. I do understand that Alex Smith was the #1 overall pick from Utah back when they were in the Mountain West Conference, but I'm not counting him in this poll because we're going to go with current teams in the Mountain West. Jordan Love could enter this poll next year, but for now, who has been your favorite?
I mean, all right, hold on. I got a disclaimer. I work with David Carr. He did a game with us on Stadium. I got to go David Carr.
Shout out to David.
It's all David over here.
He wasn't #1 overall pick, but I like Josh Allen right now.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what he's doing with the Buffalo Bills this year.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, nobody really expected that. I know I didn't. And
I think he ended up in the right place. You know, sometimes it's the right place, right time, right system. And he's a guy who's lived out in sort of places a little bit hard to find sometimes, or out in the cold, and it seems to be a good fit in Buffalo. They're looking very much like a playoff team. Good coverage for New Mexico. I'm telling you, they're playing with a little burst. They got a little juice right now in this game. It's only 31-12, but I'm curious to see how much energy we see from Utah State right here. They might have thought 31-6 we're good.
yeah, I mean, I thought they were good, and maybe that question during the half wasn't so crazy if they could make a comeback or not. But hey, you get a quick turnover or a 3-and-out right here and get some more points, then we got ourselves a ball game.
Now they have the wind at their back at the moment. It's Bright, a big carry, and that's going to get him very close to that magic number, and it will. That puts him over the top. Gerald Bright, congratulations. More than 2,000 yards in your career, only the 10th guy ever to do it at Utah State. Well done, Gerald. Jordan Love gets it out to Nathan, and not much doing there. Good tackle there on the outside.
Man, look at that extra effort on that play. I mean, for a team that's down 31-12, guys are still flying around trying to make plays.
Okolo, another tackle. All-conference guy, really took care of his body in the last offseason, lost 30 pounds. Only been there 2 years between him and Alex Hart. Those guys, those linebacker positions, really kept this team together. It's been, as Danny documented very nicely, it's been as challenging a season. You wouldn't wish this upon anybody. All right, 3rd and 10, you get a stop and a score. We get a ball game on our hands.
Yeah. And Utah State is taking their time at the line of scrimmage, trying to get into the right play call. You really don't want to rush this situation knowing how big of a play it is in the game.
And Love's in trouble. And just throw this one up for grabs. And it's picked off. New Mexico football, I mean, it's as good as a punt, right? I mean,
in a way.
Right?
I'm
just trying to be positive.
I hear you, but the momentum swing, I mean, look at that sideline. These guys are energized now. And Jordan Love, hey, sometimes the best play is to throw it away. I know you feel like you're one-on-one with Mariner. It was actually 2 or 3 guys over there. So, I mean, maybe not. He should have really taken that ball and thrown it out of bounds. It's a really good play by Rodgers, making a play on that. He almost bobbled it. But he's been a guy that's been making plays even on punt returns. You've been calling his name a lot today.
On the ground. Way to finish the run. That was a 3-yard gain. But let me tell you, Bobby Cole finished that run and delivered the punishment.
I'm telling you, a little play like that interception will give everybody some juice. And that gave Cole that extra energy to finish that run with authority.
And here's the other little nugget there. That interception gives them 4 interceptions, so that avoids them tying for the fewest in school history.
Yeah.
And now they got 11 takeaways.
I tell you what, and the defensive lineman has one of those interceptions, so it wasn't all the secondary.
Again, it's on the ground. Huge hole. Hey, it's like, what happened in the locker room, people? Lobos are rolling right now. Bobby Cole and sidelines fired up.
I love it, the physical play. I mean, that's what you want to see. This is football now. It's cold weather. Can't be throwing the ball all over the place. We're going to see who the tougher team is, and right now New Mexico is looking like that.
First and 10. Again, they keep it on the ground.
Cole on the carry.
Not much of a gain there for Cole.
Down by number 51.
And this is setting up for them to be able to play action and take a shot down the field. Utah State is clearly going to load the line of scrimmage and try to stop the run. This might be a good opportunity to maybe take a shot and see what happens.
Well, they were about here, remember, in the second quarter, and then threw it downfield, and DJ Williams got the interception. So that may be in the back of the play caller's mind here. Well, they're going to go for it again. And there was a lot of contact, and the catch is made. Cedric Patterson, the third. And the Lobos in the red zone.
And Cedric Patterson can fly. They know he's a speed guy. They wanted to get him matched up with DJ Williams, who doesn't really run as well. And that's just a beautiful throw right there.
All right, let's see what the officials are talking about here.
Holding, number 7, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of play is a first down.
Big play there for Trey Hall and the Lobo offense as they try to mount this comeback. Now, Marcus Williams is lined up in the right slot at the top of your screen. Watch out for the big fella. If he's lined up man-to-man, he's a good target because he could beat a guy for a jump ball.
They are playing man-to-man, and they don't care about the big completion. They're still going to challenge this New Mexico team to throw the ball.
And they're going to Williams. And Williams has got it. Touchdown, Lobos. See, about once a year, I'll call something, and it works.
I'm like, have you been hanging out with Tony Romo? I mean, that was a heck of, hey, maybe you should go down there and call some plays, too. That was a great design right there. Just get your bigger tight end matched up one-on-one with the smaller safety. And Trey Hall gave him a chance to make a play.
All right, they're going to go for 2 here. Down 13, try to make it an 11-point game. And they go up again. I think we're going to have offensive pass interference. I think they're going to have to do this again. I think Molina pushed off.
Pass interference, number 13, offense. 15-yard penalty, retry.
Now I'd say kick the extra point.
I mean, you had your last 2 blocked.
When you missed one and then you had one blocked.
Well, yeah. Both of them ended that terribly. So,
and it's going to be a lot longer kick. I mean, it's 15 yards further behind. But either way, it's 13-point game. It's a two-score game right now. Kick is on the way, and no good. No, 0 for 3. Hey, it's not easy to kick in the cold either. Let's go to Danny.
Well, guys, I just want to check in with our poll presented by Wendy's. 61% went with Josh Allen, Derek Carr 18%, Cap 13%, and David Carr at 8%. But the favorite there, Josh Allen, 7th pick in the 2018 draft to the Buffalo Bills out of Wyoming. And it was actually when Utah beat Wyoming, that on linebacker Eric Munoz had a heck of a game. He was named the Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Week. And Coach Anderson decided to reward him in a way that was the best way he knew how.
Okay? Remember, it wasn't that way 14, 15 days ago. Got us in a position in the game we had to win. We needed it. He made special plays in that scenario. Next clip. Okay? Obviously, like I said, walk on linebackers. You know what happens next? That.
I didn't know it was possible, guys, to get chills down here on the field knowing how cold I am, but even rewatching that video for about the 20th time now, I still have chills. Eric Munoz, no longer a walk-on for the Aggies, a scholarship player. In case you couldn't hear, Coach Anderson threw up that giant X over the walk-on part. You saw his teammates go nuts. On our call with Coach, he said that there's nothing more rewarding nor a better feeling than seeing a look on his player's face when they've earned a scholarship. He said it's one of the most rewarding feelings, and it's the reason why you go through the grind of a football season and the reason why you reward guys that work so hard, because it's that look in their eyes and the response by their teammates that makes, you know, all that hard work worth it.
Incredible stuff. I mean, watch that video. It's just amazing, and congratulations to Eric on getting the scholarship. But his defense now is going to have to step up. They found themselves feeling pretty comfortable at the half. Not that comfortable anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to do something, but, I mean, like Danny said, that story was just amazing. You do get chills from that. I'm not an emotional guy at all by any means, but watching his press conference after, seeing those tears, you could tell the hard work that kid put in.
You could say you're not emotional, but when that hot chocolate arrived, I thought I saw you well up a little bit.
The tear was from the cold.
Okay. I said, what was the tear? I just wasn't sure what it was for. All right, so let's see what kind of response we get now from Jordan Love and the Aggies. They are officially in a game now. 2-score game, 6:50 to go in the third quarter. I would think with that big offensive line, they would be able to run it down run it between the tackles, but they haven't been able to do it real consistently.
And the big physical running back in Jalen Warren, I mean, you would think so.
Said they give it to Nathan on the end around, and he's tripped up after a gain of 4. And the interesting thing is that Utah State only plays fast. Even when they're ahead, it sort of seems like you're like, well, why don't you just make sure you keep your defense off the field for a minute? But no, they're in a hurry. And Jalen Warren, it's suddenly third down. So if you don't get the third down here, your defense has only been off the field for 2 minutes.
Yeah, and sometimes this offense can backfire on you. If you're not getting first downs, this isn't a good thing for your defense or your team.
Oh, and Warren fights for it. That's a critical first down for Utah State. That'll keep the clock ticking once they reset the chain gang.
You see the defender ripping away at the ball. New Mexico knows if they can get this ball back to their offense pretty quickly, that they have some momentum.
Yeah, just think if you're Utah State, this is one of those times where I know your philosophy is to go, 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 but if your defense has been getting beat, been out on the field, you know that you lose your wind in the cold a lot quicker than you do at normal temperatures. Jordan Love misses the receiver. He's just a little anxious to get rid of it there. There was no real pressure.
Yeah, he's been hit a couple times. Like I said, they've been able to bring some blitzers, some free blitzers, and he's been taking some shots. So, I mean, you hit anybody. Tom Brady, he wants to get rid of the ball faster. So we're seeing that right now with Jordan Love. Third down, typically New Mexico will bring some pressure. Right now, they're not really showing it.
Love the throw, and that is caught. And another first down for the Aggies. It's a good-looking throw there as he finds Jordan Nathan over the middle of the field.
They got the first down, but New Mexico, that was really good defense. They made Utah State work hard for it. That wasn't an easy completion, and that was a really good catch by Nathan to be able to hold on to that.
Little wide receiver screen. That's Taylor Compton, junior from Logan. Well, already they've given their defense a favor, right? I mean, they've gotten enough first downs. The defense got a chance to shake it off. Now the question is, can they get points and make it a 3-score game? Jordan Love was looking downfield, got a wide open target, and Taylor Compton, I don't know if he mistimed his jump. It looked like it was right there, Eddie.
Yeah, it looked like he might have lost it. I'm trying to see how he would have lost the ball, but I tell you what, that throw by Jordan Love, yeah, he couldn't track the ball really well. It was almost as if he didn't see it completely, but that was a really good throw by Jordan Love under a little bit of pressure.
Huge play for the Lobo defense to try to get the Aggies off the field. 3rd and 7.
And I'm looking at this bottom defender in the slot, possibly coming on the blitz. You see the safety cheating over top, so that normally tells you that they might be blitzing.
Blitz is coming. They set up the screen. It's Bright. And he's got enough for a Utah State first down. Huge pickup there for the Aggies. So they've really been able to convert on 3rd down on this drive to keep their defense off the field. And it's Gerald Bright. He's brought down to the 35.
And New Mexico is playing more zone coverage than they did in the first half. Defensive coordinator did say that they were going to try to give Jordan Love some different looks to try to confuse him, and they've done just that.
Jordan Love's going to keep it himself, and he's got free reign. And boy, wasn't a tackle by the safety. He'd have scored.
Looks like he might have hurt himself.
Brandon Burton, the transfer from UCLA, came up to make the play, and he may be shaken up.
I know that look. I'm no doctor, but I know that it's happened to me before, but yeah, hopefully he's okay.
All right, that's good news. He's already up.
And Jordan Love is a big kid. I mean, you're out there by yourself. You got to make a tackle in this cold weather. The ground is a little bit harder. It's good to see him being able to walk off the field. Hopefully something minor.
Gerald Bright makes a couple of cuts, fights his way to the 10-yard line. It's been a nice response here by the Aggies after they've had a lot of adversity here in the 3rd quarter. They've calmed things down with this long, time-consuming drive.
And we're seeing a different style of offense. I mean, I'm used to seeing them go up and down the field and not really running the ball as much, but hey, they're milking that clock and giving that defense a rest, so it's working out for everyone. I see one-on-one at the bottom. I give Mariner a chance.
Oh, you want to play offensive coordinator too, huh? Well, it looked like a pretty good grab there and no call. Wow, letting them play. I mean, it looked like tried to almost tackle him. I don't know if we got another look at it.
Yeah. It was a rep. Yeah.
Lovett there, 14. 3rd down, huge play here because even with a field goal, it's still a 2-possession game. Right? You need 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions. You got yourself a tie game.
Yeah, and Coach Anderson spoke about scoring touchdowns in the red zone. So
yeah, it's been an issue for them.
We'll see.
Jordan Love, all kinds of time. The throw, the catch, touchdown Aggies. Mariner gets the score.
I love it. I love the play. You watch Jordan Love. He's patient in the pocket. We said he looked a little bit rushed earlier. He's able to get to his second read. He looked left first and then was able to be patient enough in the pocket to spin around and look to the right and throw an accurate ball to Mariner. Mariner's been his go-to guy, and he shows you why. He goes up and makes a tough catch for the touchdown. That connection right there has been pretty consistent all year long.
Another extra point, good. We can breathe a sigh of relief. Again, if you're joining us, Dominic Eberle has never missed an extra point in his career.
Never.
It's his senior year final game. All right, let's learn more about the New Mexico Man, a tradition created by Bob Davie.
Yeah, exactly. It was created by him, and it's something that the guys that get to be the New Mexico Man for the day take a lot of pride in. So basically what happens is it goes to a walk-on or a former walk-on, and Davey and his staff select them each week for home games. And basically what they do is they take the New Mexico State flag and they run across the field and lead the team out of the end zone, and they take the flag all the way to the north end zone. They wave it for the home crowd. They even do it in the Rio Grande rivalry between the Lobos and New Mexico State. So it's a pretty big deal. Today's was Hayden Wilson. Hayden was one of 5 players put on scholarship this summer. And they get a little write-up on the website about them. It's tweeted out. It's definitely something these guys take pride in. And Davey himself is very sensitive to walk-ons. His son Clay was actually a walk-on at ASU, so he understands how hard they work, how important they are to the program. And when he took over here, he knew that it was the walk-ons that were going to be the future of this program, so he wanted to make sure that he singled them out when they were being unselfish and working hard and really establishing and embellishing what it meant to be a Lobos football player. So it's definitely one of those things that when a new coaching staff comes in, do they keep that tradition? Is it something that they decide to adopt as the new staff comes in? I think it's a great one. I think it also just gives those guys that maybe are the unsung heroes a chance to be the hero for the day.
I really like it. What do you think? I think a new staff comes in. If you've got a great tradition, why mess with it?
Right.
Yeah, you should keep it. I mean, walk-ons, they are the heart and soul of that team. They're pushing those starters for playing time. And a lot of those guys are they just love being around the team. They love football.
And guys, of 30 New Mexico men that started their careers on walk-ons, as walk-ons at UNM, 13 of them earned scholarships. So
amazing.
It's a big deal here.
Yeah. One of the many wonderful things that Bob Davie has contributed to this program during his 8 years. Brandon Burton waiting deep for the Lobos. You know, it's not often when you finish a call with a coach that you know it's his last game. And so I had a chance to tell him how I felt about him. I mean, there are not many guys I've dealt with in the 20-some years I've been calling games. It's a classier, better guy than Bob Davie. We're just getting started with our college hoops coverage on Stadium. Also coming up on Wednesday night, we've got Boise State visiting New Mexico right here in Albuquerque. You can catch all the action Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern exclusively on Facebook. Stadium, welcome to the game. So we got 2 games on Stadium Wednesday night.
I like it. What do you prefer, basketball or football? Which one's it?
You think I'm not going to handle this politically correct? I love them both equally. Yes, I mean, I love football. I love Eddie Royal. Yeah, I mean, I love them both. Now, on a day like today, college basketball being indoors, it would be my favorite today. All right, Carroll there with the carry. 2nd and 6. New Mexico's looked really good in their couple of possessions in the second half. Keep it on the ground. That's a nice tackle made there. That had a chance to be a decent carry, but Metzenheimer steps up and makes the play.
Yeah, that one-on-one tackle that Coach Anna on the defensive coordinator has been talking about. The linebackers needed to play better. He wasn't really happy with the way that they played against Boise State. So that right there was a nice one-on-one tackle by Metzenheimer.
Yeah, he really wants these guys to be more consistent, to hold each other accountable. He was not pleased with how they played against Boise State. Trey Hall, the throw. But he threw that with quite a bit of zip on it. And it's 4th down. I started to think with the way they've been running the football, maybe you stick with it on the ground there on 3rd down, but They elect to try to throw it.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, even a play action or something and maybe get the linebackers to bite up a little bit more or show the play action better. That one's just a little bit off target on the slant throw. He might have felt that pressure coming from the other side.
Nathan is deep. Dwyer to punt. Dyer, one of the best in the business, and that's a great punt into the wind. Nathan from his own 19. And hold everything. Play was stopped. Not sure what happened there. They kicked it. Looked like the play was going.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding
me? No way.
Hold on.
No way.
What in the world is going on here, people? That play was stopped for 25 seconds, and then Jordan Nathan's like, you know what, let's go.
Yeah, inadvertent whistle by the official. I think he made a mistake, but once you do it, you got to stick with it.
That was crazy. I mean, there were like 40 guys on the field at that point.
I mean, I saw the ref run out of the way like he was going to let it happen, so I don't know what that was.
As everyone's standing around, and then Jordan Nathan's like, all right, let's restart the play. Hey.
Yeah, he felt like we all did. We were all confused. You got to blow it dead. I mean, it shouldn't take that long to figure this out.
That was one of the stranger things I've seen.
Didn't Deion Sanders do something like that, fake a fair catch, and then took off with it, scored? I think that happened. That was the only play I can think of being something.
On the field is there's a whistle that I believe come from the stands. It's an inadvertent whistle. Decision will be Utah State.
Oh, whether they have him kick it again or just take it from where he was? Go deeper into the biggest college football games each week on Tape Don't Lie. Stadium college football analyst Michael Felder goes into the film room with a rotating cast of football gurus to take a deep dive on college football's most important players and teams. New episodes drop each week on Stadium's Facebook page. Stadium, welcome to the game. See that? Presented by Wendy's. Wendy's is all over this.
Hey, if I'm the ref, I would easily just blame it on somebody in the stands, too. You know?
Like, yeah, it had to be from the stands.
I mean, they get into the huddle and they're like, did you blow the whistle? I'm like, no. It's easy. I mean, why not just lie and say it wasn't me?
Yeah, let's be clear. We don't assume that's what they're actually doing, right, Eddie?
I'm just saying, hey, if you don't got to admit to it, why would you? It's like, I don't know what happened.
Running on the field is there's an inadvertent whistle. The ball's dead at the 28-yard line. Utah State's elected to take the outcome of the play. Utah State first down on 28-yard line.
I'm just glad they're not kicking again. But that would have gone down as one of the more bizarre things. If they'd have let him just kept running in the touchdown, I think Bob Davies' head would have popped off.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. It's been enough challenging events to happen in New Mexico. They didn't need that to happen either.
So Jordan Love on the afternoon, 17 of 33, 170 yards, 3 touchdown passes, and 1 interception. Now, with the win in this game, he gets to 21 wins as a starter. That'd still be second place, but he's got, well, hopefully a bowl game to play in. We could maybe tie for the all-time wins as a starter.
Gerald Bright is so explosive and so fun to watch. I mean, a guy that can do it all, catch the ball out of the backfield, pass, protect. I love seeing the effort that he puts forth when he's playing football.
It's like on cue. He just keeps battling and runs for 9 yards. Well done, Eddie. So Gerald Bright, I believe with that carry, is getting real close to 100 yards. Before that carry, he had 92 yards on 13 carries. Jordan Love deep downfield. He underthrows it. Is it picked off? No, it's incomplete. That was underthrown. There was a chance for a play to be made there. Dante Martin was right there. They were looking for Derek Wright on the play.
And those are the plays that you worry about Jordan Love. You know, they're always the long throw that he tries to make. Whenever he's making these short, precise throws, he's very accurate with it. It's the deeper throws that he gets in trouble with.
And Gerald Bright picks up the first down. And Gerald Bright is over 100 yards in the game now. Call it 104 yards in the game for Gerald Bright. So congratulations, a senior from Pensacola, Florida. One of the team captains, one of the great leaders of this team.
You can just tell that he's a likable kid. You know, all that he stands for, you can tell even by the way that he runs the ball. The game matters to him. He's playing for his teammates, and I love seeing that. A guy that's just a workhorse of a back. He's not even that big of a guy, but you can hand it to him 20 times a game.
Let's go to Danny.
Well, guys, this is your last call to post those photos. We're going to be showcasing them here in the fourth quarter. Use that hashtag USU versus UNM and post a photo on Instagram. I'm going to feature it here in the fourth quarter. And now, guys, I want to talk a little bit more about Davey in this stressful season, but I do want to shine a bright light on a guy that he says has been the bright spot despite all of the turmoil that this team has faced all year long, and he said that's linebacker Alex Hart. He said he enjoyed coming to work every day because of the positivity that flowed from Alex Hart. So last year, Hart was a senior. He tore his ACL in the game against New Mexico State on September 15th. It was a senior year. He could have called it quits, right? He was a couple months from getting his undergraduate degree in business. He really could have called it quits, but no, he came back. And he comes from a very athletic family, a family that knows a thing or two about injuries. Get this, guys. Excuse me 1 second. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. The cold's getting to me. But Hart's father, Pat, was a defensive lineman for the University of Minnesota back in 1984. He tore his ACL and it moved him to the offensive line, but he did finish out his career. His brother, Nick, injured his hip during his senior year playing for Minnesota and ultimately decided that his football career was done. But get this, his mom, Nancy, also went to Minnesota, but as a swimmer, the Big Ten champion in the 100-meter backstroke back in 1998. And there's one more Hart in the family. That's Alex's little brother, Sam, who's one of the most highly touted tight end prospects in the nation. I'm talking fielding offers from Notre Dame, Ohio State, USC, Washington, LSU, Utah, Penn State, and of course, UNM. But we have a special family and
All right, sorry about that. We had problems with Danny's microphone. Time for Keeping It Fresh, brought to you by Wendy's. And Senior Day, Bob Davey out there acknowledging the seniors. It's our Keeping It Fresh moment of the game, and there's Hart, one of the great leaders of this team. And let us bring the tailgate to you. They'll deliver. Wendy's will do it all.
Second down and 8.
Opening minute of the fourth quarter. And Gerald Bright avoids getting knocked down in the backfield for a loss and picks up 3 yards.
I think Love might have to keep the ball. I think they're keying on the running back now, not really expecting Jordan Love to carry the ball. So you might have to pull it one of these next few plays if they want to keep having success running that play.
By the way, just as a little note, the wind has really calmed down. The flags in that end zone that were just howling through most of the game, nothing.
But yet it's still cold.
Yes, it is. Love sets up the screen. On a nice tackle in the open field. That was well done. Johnny Hernandez, a redshirt senior from Temecula, California. Third on the team in tackles coming into this game.
Yeah, that was an excellent play call. Utah State knows that New Mexico wants to blitz on third down. So they're just getting the screen passes to be able to beat that blitz right there. If Hernandez misses that tackle, then that's a touchdown. And we saw last week against Air Force, New Mexico just missed too many tackles like that led to big plays. And today they're making those plays.
It appears that the Aggies have decided to punt in this situation. And even though the winds died down, it'd be a real long kick in this weather, even for one of the best kickers in America, Dominic Everly. And I think they're going to take the delay of game penalty.
And Coach Davey does the smart thing. He declines it. A lot of coaches do this. They'll take the delay of game penalty to give their punter more room to kick the ball. And now Coach Davey declined it, leaving the punter with an uncomfortable amount of space to kick the ball. So nice try by Coach Anderson and well played by Coach Davey.
And the fair catch is made at the 7-yard line. Deshaun Rogers. Today's game is brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the NCAA. Beautiful shot of the mountains here, close by the stadium in Albuquerque. Beautiful view from this press box. We're spoiled coming up here, getting to look at the mountains. One of the many great views in press boxes throughout the Mountain West. All right, 3-score game. We've seen New Mexico battle. They played much better in the second half than they did in the first half.
And even though they came away with no points on that drive, they still milked a ton of the clock away.
Yeah.
You know, and the point is to win the game. You don't have to score, just score one more point than the other team. And they're doing a good job of that. They milked the clock, and now New Mexico, who's had a hard time throwing the ball, has to move the ball a long ways to get points. So a successful drive by Utah State.
For Utah State, it's going to be interesting because when they look back at this year, will they be able to appreciate what they accomplished, or will it be a year where they think, you know, we could have done something special and backed up the 11-win season? I'm just curious for Utah State and their fans. Say they win this game, win the bowl game, you get 8 wins, but expectations were sky high coming in.
Yeah, they're bittersweet, and we had high expectations for them too.
Yep.
When we saw them early on in the year against Stony Brook, I mean, they were talking about Jordan Love for the Heisman.
For sure.
So, I mean, that in its own is kind of a letdown. You expected him to continue to progress and be talked about even as a possible first overall pick. I remember having that discussion with you. So now it's still a successful season, and it's a successful year for Gary Anderson coming back in his first year, but maybe not what we all expected.
All right, how about the play of the game? I think it may be your man. Caleb Rep showing the fancy footwork here. Catches it, gets that foot, drags the other one. He's ready for the NFL. He's showing, hey, I get 2 feet in.
Hey, he said, I'm leaving early too. I like it. But, hey, what about Ciosi's one-handed catch? I thought Mariner's one-handed catch was pretty impressive.
You got to take that up with the truck, man. You got to get involved earlier.
Yeah, I got to talk to somebody about that.
They hand it off to Carroll, and he gets it out to the 13-yard line. New Mexico does not have an offense that flourishes well at going really fast. It's just not how this team is built.
And I don't blame them. You just stay true to who you are and try to score it as fast as you can within your offense. Don't try to do something that you're not good at.
Carroll's going to try to bounce to the outside, and K.E. says, not this time. 51 was all over it. He's a good-looking redshirt junior from Oceanside, California.
And that's a really good adjustment from earlier in the game to where New Mexico was able to get to the edge and make some plays, but now they're doing a better job of containing them and keeping the guys inside and letting the linebackers make plays. This 3rd and long situation is what New Mexico wanted to stay out of. It's an obvious pass situation, and Utah State knows that.
Hall. That was almost picked up. There's going to be a flag. It's just going to be a first down for New Mexico.
That's intended for Anselm Murray.
It's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
And to be honest, with as much as they call pass interference in college football now, 3rd and long, I just throw it up.
Yeah.
I throw it up to my best guy and see what happens.
This keeps the drive going for
Pass
the Lobos.
interference. Number 6, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Cam Haney, senior from LA. Leads the team with 11 passes defended this year.
I'll tell you what, I heard something about Cameron Haney, is the fact that he has a non-profit organization in LA to feed kids, feed them healthy snacks for when their parents aren't home yet in the inner city in LA. I'm just thinking a kid that young thinking like that, he's going to have a bright future.
Yeah. And also, I think it shows an example to your teammates about there's a lot more to football, and you can use your platform of being a football player to do really good things in your community.
Yeah.
Keep it on the ground with Carroll. And Carroll picks up another Lobo first down.
First down, Lobo.
I like the play.
Yeah, I like the design of it. And Carroll's done a nice job. We weren't even sure he was going to play today. He's now got 11 carries in the game.
He's looked good. And, hey, if I'm New Mexico, why not try take another shot? They're looking to the sideline every time. If you see one-on-one coverage, take another shot downfield.
Trey Hall thinks better of it. Now he's going to take off and run. Picks up a nice gain on first down.
You did say it, and they really aren't moving any faster, but I'd expect a little bit more sense of urgency. I mean, they let that play clock go down to about 5 seconds, and I understand you want to get in the right play, but you got to get a play off, too, to save yourself some time.
Second short. Keep it on the ground, pick up the first down. This time it's Micah Gray, the redshirt sophomore.
And I can respect the philosophy. Hey, stay true to who we are. Let's just continue to have sustained good drives. Let's build on this momentum and then try to carry it over into next year. It's giving these players a lot of confidence. They're playing against a really good team.
Trey Hall hit on the throw deep down the field. Nobody's home. He exposed himself to a real good hit right there.
Yeah, he's been taking shots all day, and none like that one right there, but that one hurts when you expose your entire body to a big linebacker trying to make a play for your team, and just a miscommunication. He thought he had a double move on, and the receiver thought it was a comeback. So that miscommunication that we talked about when you only have 1 week of practice with a new quarterback.
Keep it on the ground. Big chunk there. Another New Mexico first down. Micah Gray. We're having a lot more success running the football in the second half. They've now rushed for over 243 yards in the game.
And you talk about the walk-on mentality. Those guys just got put on scholarship, and they take every snap seriously. I mean, there are no plays off when you're talking about a walk-on guy that gets an opportunity to play. He wants to make the most of everything, and you can see that with the way that they run the ball.
More downhill running. It seems that New Mexico is resigned to, whatever points they get, they're going to get, but they're not in any way trying to get up on the ball and move quickly.
2nd and 6.
Yeah, and I think that's them protecting Trey Hall, not trying to put him in situations where Utah State can just blitz and he's taking a ton of hits. He's a young guy, and they want to still be able to use play action and let him have a successful game.
He's going to keep it himself this time. Stays on his feet. And gets another Lobo first down. Hall leads the team in rushing. That's going to put him over 100 yards on the day. Got that rushing touchdown, the first of his career.
Yeah, just a physical run by a quarterback. You don't really see that too often from quarterbacks lowering their shoulder and taking shots and spinning off of them. Now, Trey Hall's played well enough for going into next year that there may be a serious quarterback competition.
Well, it just depends who the coach is and what kind of offense they're running, right?
This is true.
Yeah. That's a big variable we don't know yet. Oh, wow. It was no fooling Jacoby Wildman on that one. Running back's lucky, held on the ball.
Yeah, and you look at this, they did a great job. They had a guy to match up with the quarterback and a guy to take the running back. And you see Munoz right there was ready for Trey Hall in case he pulled it. Trey Hall, knowing that, not wanting to hit, handed the ball off. That's just sound defense by Utah State.
Couple-yard loss on the play. Trey Hall wants to throw, completes it. Ume makes the catch. Not sure why there's a whistle. There is a flag on the play. That's why we got it.
Yeah, the flag came in late, too.
Would have been the 7th completion.
Just more confusion, more of hurting yourself, things that we've seen New Mexico do all year. And they need to know that next year, if they want to be a better team, whoever this coach is, he needs to instill the discipline. Doing the little things the right way, making extra points, not jumping off sides. All those little things add up. You wonder why New England is a good football team? It's because they don't beat themselves.
No, they sure don't. Trey Hall's going to keep it himself. Takes a pretty good hit. He's going to bring up 3rd and short. I didn't expect to see a time-consuming drive down 20 points for the Lobos with Air milking that clock down.
I mean, I didn't either. I mean, look, Trey Hall's down tying his shoe. I mean, there's no sense of urgency right now. I think they just want to get in some good plays, and Trey Hall's taking a number of hits. He's definitely going to be sore tomorrow.
And look, they were like, look, he is the quarterback. Connor Genal is the next guy, and you can tell they were like he's probably just not ready. Yeah. Third down, the throw, catch is made. Is he inbounds? Yes. Going to be 1st and goal. Ume with the catch.
And this has been a nice drive. Just Trey Hall getting outside the pocket and making an accurate throw to Ume coming back to the ball.
Nice footwork.
Very good footwork. And just imagine if they didn't have those slip-ups and mishaps right before the half, how different this game could have been.
That was 14 points right there. Trey Hall is going to keep it and get into the end zone. Touchdown, Lobos. That was a great drive.
Yeah, and you just talk about fighting for your teammates. I mean, that play right there just showed you everything you need to know about Trey Hall. I mean, he knew that he was going to take a hit, but he continued to fight and show that extra effort. He's going to have everybody's respect on that sideline at the end of this game.
And the extra point is good.
Just an outstanding job of making the right read and then being patient enough and knowing when to lower your shoulder and keep your legs moving. Trey Hall is a big kid now. He can take those hits and keep moving. We've seen him break a number of tackles, and right here he just runs through an arm tackle. It's something that Utah State preached on, just being physical and tackling better. That was an example of them not doing that.
Danny, what do you got?
Well, it's time now for our last poll of the day presented by Wendy's, and this one is a fun one because we want all of your opinions, of course, on who should be the player of the game. Now, here are some of your choices, right? You got 4 choices here. Love has 3 passing touchdowns. You got Gerald Bright, who's got 109 yards and a touchdown, and also with those 109 yards, he's become the 10th player in school history to rush for 2,000 yards or more. Very cool for him. Mariner is another option, 55 yards and a touchdown. And finally, the last option here is the one that you just saw put more points on the board for New Mexico. That's quarterback Hall. He's got 118 rushing yards. He's the quarterback, guys. He's out rushing Gerald Bright, like I talked about. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns, 4 total touchdowns. I understand that his team is behind, but he makes a strong case there for player of the game.
Eddie, who's your player of the game?
I like Trey Hall. I can't lie. I mean, I like the effort that he's showing, and he came into the game his first start, and he's done a heck of a job. I mean, he's been fighting all day, and he's my guy.
All right. Well, I usually don't take a guy from the losing team. I don't think it was Jordan Love. I'm going to go with the senior, Gerald Bright. 100-yard game, goes over 2,000 yards. He's been a leader, an impactful guy on this program throughout his time at Utah State. He's my guy today.
I like it. Well, you know, I expected this out of Trey Hall. You know, I like what I've seen from him. But Gerald Bright, heck of a career. Great job today. Way to run the ball.
Don't forget that Stadium is your home for Ring of Honor Wrestling. Check out the latest from Ring of Honor Superstars on all Stadium platforms on Wednesday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern. Stadium, welcome to the game.
Donovan Murphy set to kick off. Jordan Nathan back here.
You think Jordan Love comes out, or is he done? It's going to be Columbia.
I think you bring him back out. I mean,
2-score game?
Yeah. Because if you get a quick 3 and out.
Here comes a little squib kick.
Nathan will take a knee at the 26.
They're trying to secure a bowl bid. They're not playing any games. I'd be surprised if Love didn't come back out.
And do you expect them to, like, slow it down, or are they just going to keep firing away?
I would slow it down, kind of like the drive they had before. I mean, you didn't get any points, just try to score at the end of that drive. But they milked the clock, and if you take this clock down below 2 minutes, I mean, it's not much that New Mexico could do to win the game.
All right, Jordan Love is in there at quarterback. Joe Bright is the running back, looking to add to that 109 yards. He's averaged 6.4 yards per carry. Oh, wow, you don't see this coming out. A dead ball situation, but Utah State uses the timeout.
New Mexico, the first timeout. Timeout on the field.
Timeout New Mexico, but they pointed towards Utah State.
Yeah.
I'm going with Utah State all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
All right, let's get the results from Danny.
Well, guys, I just want to check in on the poll presented by Wendy's. It looks like our player of the game is Gerald Bright. We've got a little package that we'll show of him. I'm going to try and get him after the game for our post-game interview, because why not interview the player of the game, huh?
I like it.
Absolutely great performance.
It's
Ari,
the first time all
like
season.
it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time all season they've gone with my player of the game. I'll take it.
I mean, there's no denying that he had a heck of a game. I mean, he ran the ball well, physical runner, and yeah, I like everything I saw from him.
I also want to check in with our Instagram viewers because we have gotten quite a few photos as well from them. Remember, all you got to do is use the hashtag USU versus UNM. Thank you, everybody, for paying attention to this broadcast. Aggie Annie, that selfie, they're watching from North Carolina. Thanks so much, ladies, for paying attention to us and watching and cheering on your team. Janet Strong, you're also in North Carolina. Kind of artsy shot there looking away from the camera. I like it. Sammy Lee, excuse me if I don't get that name right, but it looks like you guys are supporting your uncle from Rexburg, Ohio. Go Aggies. What a cute photo. Love it. Thanks for watching. And finally, Tamara Elliott, dog with the Aggies hat on. I love it. That's Coach Elliott's bulldog named Iowa. You guys are studs. Thanks so much for watching and posting these photos throughout the game and talking to us on the comment section and, of course, participating in our polls presented by Wendy's.
Great stuff, Danny. I hope you've stayed warm enough down there. I noticed you've got the gear covering the ears, you know, trying to do. I think she deserves a knit cap like the one you got on right now.
I almost forgot I was wearing this thing.
It's not doing the trick? You're still cold with it on?
I'm still cold. It's paper thin. Frank, I thank you for the effort, but
not enough.
It's not doing much.
I got a second one in my pocket. You want to double up?
I'm all right. But Frank, thank you for that hot chocolate. That made my day.
It was game changer. But this has got to be tough for Bob Davie, knowing this is the end of an 8-year run. Place he's poured so much heart and energy.
And I also thought it was special him being able to coach with his son.
Yeah, pretty cool. His son Clay, the tight ends coach.
Yeah, being able to do that with your son, that's probably something that he dreamed about doing. And I'm sure that's been an awesome experience, just teaching him the ropes of, and maybe Clay will one day be a head coach.
Not sure who called the timeout here. I think this one, maybe New Mexico. Apparently they're not as cold down there as we are up here. I'd have thought they'd let that clock run.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably thinking, hey, get the ball back, score, kick an onside kick, and then see what happens.
Yeah, no, I get it. Compete till the final whistle. I understand.
But if you're going to do that, you almost think, why weren't they in more of a rush?
That's my point.
The drives before. The band looks like they're having a good time.
Well, they can stay warm. They're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Keep it on the ground, and Bright gets to the 30-yard line. He's pushed back a long ways, but
Brought down by number 94.
all right. New Mexico uses their second timeout. They've got one left.
And this is a big play in the game. You know, if you don't get this first down, and maybe get a big punt return or something, you don't know what could happen. Rogers has been looking good back there. He's made a couple plays, has an interception. So, I mean, he's got some confidence, and that could be the momentum swing that the Lobos need to possibly score quickly, take some shots, and get an onside kick.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if Utah State throws in this situation to pick up the first down. I don't think they're going to be that conservative. I think they'd like to keep the ball and see the clock in. You want to get in that 4-minute offense.
If I'm them, I would call a rollout to where Jordan Love could use his legs, and if it's not there, just get down and then still have the clock running.
Yeah, well, make them use their final timeout.
Exactly.
They just had to run it with Nathan. No place to go. And New Mexico will use, I believe, their final timeout. They will, so they're out of timeouts. So New Mexico's going to need a lot of things to go right without any timeouts. They're going to need to get the ball, score, get an onside kick, score again.
Yeah, and if they take as long as they did last drive, we're going to run out of time before they can score.
That's for sure.
But we'll see. I mean, I guess we got somewhat of a game here.
You know, look, if you're Bob Davie, you got to like the fact you guys competed all the way down to the bitter end.
It's
been a super hard and super challenging season.
Yeah, it's a nice way to send him out. The guys are fighting to the end, and I mean, I'm sure he appreciates that.
Well, I know we may be in a hurry getting off here. I want to wish you and the family all the best for the holidays. It's been a pleasure getting to know you this season. I look forward to doing more games with you in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you.
Appreciate it. Not a real good punt. As the wind has picked up again. It's at the back of the Lobos.
All right, let's see what we got. And thank you too, sir, for schooling me along the way. You know,
my pleasure.
It's been awesome working with you, and you've made this as easy as it can be. I mean, I still got a lot to learn, but you've taught me a lot.
You got the instincts, you got the knowledge, you've got the credibility. It's all about the reps. Get a few more reps, you get more and more comfortable every time. And that pass is completed, but can't get out of bounds there, so the clock continues to run. You know, I wouldn't say that they're moving all that quickly.
Needs to be a little bit more of a sense of urgency if they want to win this game.
Trey Hall is in some trouble. He'll go down. Ball's out. Recovered by New Mexico. You know it's all 4-down territory at this point. So they got 2 more downs to pick up the first down. It's 3rd and 9.
And it was a nice play call. He actually had someone open. He just couldn't get rid of the ball in time, and that's something that they talked about Trey Hall needed to do, was get rid of the ball quickly into his receivers so they can make plays for him. They just saw that Utah State might be blitzing.
They do blitz. Hall way downfield. That's going to be incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down. Last chance here for the Lobos. 4th and 9. No timeouts left, so if they give the ball back over to Utah State's going to be more than happy to just run out the clock.
And if you're the defense, you just sit at the sticks and let them catch it in front of you and come up and make a gang tackle. Don't let anything get behind you.
Utah State uses the timeout.
Which, if I'm the defensive coordinator, I bring pressure and have the defensive back sit at the sticks and just gang tackle, rally, because he's got to get rid of the ball quickly. He can't throw it downfield too far because he's got pressure. So that's typically what you see in a situation like this.
Let's go to Danny.
Well, tight end Caleb Rupp and wide receiver Sayosi Mariner both went to Utah before they transferred over here to Utah State. And they are paying attention to their former teammates and the rise that Utah is having, especially when it's considered in the college football playoff. They're number 6 ranked. And these two, you know, you can make a case for them to feel some sort of envy, but they say they wouldn't have changed a thing. They came here for a better overall experience. They loved Coach Anderson and wanted to follow him here. But they are paying attention to their success, the success of their former teammates for sure.
All right, that is ruled a catch, so still hope for the Lobos. That pass is overthrown.
In this situation, I think you got to look for back shoulder throws. It's clear that Utah State isn't going to let you get behind them.
Not going to get over the top.
Yeah, possibly look for throwing a back shoulder fade, something that maybe they haven't had time to work on. But that's definitely the play right here.
That's caught. He didn't get out of bounds, so the clock's still moving.
That was an awesome throw by Trey Hall. I think that was his best throw of the day, to be honest with you. It was a long out route, and he put it on the money.
They just want to run it here on 3rd and short to pick up the first down.
Five-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, that one will make you shake your head. Just, you got a chance to maybe score, and then you hurt yourself again. It's just, they got to do a better job of executing and doing the little things the right way.
Wow, what a pick there. And what a game. That's 2 picks now for DJ Williams. And that will wrap this one up.
He played it the right way. I mean, he was off coverage, knowing that the quarterback needed to get rid of the ball quickly. He was able to step in front of it and make the catch. That wasn't an easy catch, and he secured it all the way down. It's a veteran cornerback right there, an all-conference player making a play when his team needed it the most.
No timeouts left for the Lobos. See 3 straight victory formations. Everybody's favorite play call if you're on the winning side. And Jordan Love is out there to close this one out. A couple more of those. We'll wrap this one up. It was cold, but we made the most of it, partner.
It was, man. It was fun.
You probably weren't expecting to be hugged this much during the game. Desperate times call for desperate measures, my man.
Yeah. It's, for a guy who didn't bring any gloves, a hat, or anything, you guys took good care of me. So. It's a good, efficient game for Jordan Love. Just, he came out, he got the win. They tackled well, but you still did see that they need to work on being a more physical team on defense and stopping the run better. New Mexico was able to come in and have some success running the ball, and so that's something that you got to address in recruiting. You got to address in the offseason in the strength and conditioning program. So it's something that Utah State is going to come into next year and try to be better at, being a more physical team.
This should be the final play. And that'll do it. Utah State improves to 7-5. New Mexico 2-10. And congratulations to Gary Anderson and the Aggies. And congratulations to Bob Davie on a great career here at New Mexico. He brought a lot of joy to these fans and put New Mexico football back on the map. So sad to see him go, but he certainly will leave an important legacy for this college football program.
I'm sure that's not the last of Bob Davie that we're going to be seeing.
That's for sure.
Seeing him somewhere in high places doing big things. I mean, he's done so much for college football, and so he's going to end up landing on his feet somewhere.
Yeah, big fan of that guy as a person, the way he leads his guys. Utah State knew they were playing an undermanned New Mexico team, but they did what they needed to do to secure that 7th win. They're now 8th time in 9 years they're bowl eligible.
I mean, if you're New Mexico, you don't leave completely upset. I mean, you didn't win the game, but you fought hard.
You fought hard, you competed. Definitely competed, no doubt about that. Now Danny's down there doing her best to find the player of the game. I got a feeling she's looking for Gerald Bright.
I think I located him, matter of fact.
We couldn't get Gerald Bright, so we're going to say so long Really enjoyed our Mountain West college football package on Stadium. So many people are involved. Appreciate everybody back in Chicago and all the people who do all the coordination and make it so we can come and do these games. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Eddie Royal, and Danny Kleppinger, I'm Ari Wolf saying goodnight from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Final score 38-25. Aggies win. For more live games, replays of classic games, and digital regional studio programming, visit watchstadium.com or search Stadium in your local channel guide. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the bowl games and the college football season. We had an absolute blast here on Stadium. We'll talk to you next college football season. Take care, everybody.